Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. This is the Dispatch News live from Kenya. So, there's a video that we did yesterday at the Bunga la Wananchi, which is actually referred to People's Parliament. And this video that we did yesterday were actually views of those members of those groups that are based in Kenya, and that video caught a lot of attention, and there's a lot of ripples happening right at the moment. People are panicking, and people are making all sort of videos. As soon as the videos went live, for the first video, which I think it was from our channel, we were early to post the channel on our channel. The first video that went live on it caused a lot of ripples, and we honestly suspect that Kid Greatness had seen the video and decided to go on live to react that he's leaving Kenya now. I know they've been talking about leaving Kenya, but also what they're not saying, there's some other things in the back which are happening, and it's actually a serious matter because the visa restrictions have been, tightened a little bit. So there's a lot of a place whereby they're feeling like they're no longer welcome. So there's a lot actually going on after J-Relo's case. Trust me, things have not been the same all through. So we're just taking the first comments from Auto. Hey, welcome back. Thank you so much, Auto 718. Octoberize, yes, formerly KLA, that's true. Now the channel is no longer run by me. I'm just today representing in the channel. The channel has now many people who are representing the channel, so I'm no longer in charge 100%. I will just be representing. So today I will actually representing this to share my views, and let's discuss about the whole scenario about the passport bro. So these are my main reasons as to why we are going live tonight. It's because there was a press done yesterday, and that press has caught a lot of attention and a lot of confusion too. We've seen many Black Americans have taken to, they have come of the idea that video is actually targeting them, which I can say it is true and not true, because passport bro can be anybody. It can be a Caucasian person, can be a black person, can be an Indian, it can be a Chinese, and all that was included. And the menace did not start today. The 400%, I will tell you, this did not actually start today. It has been there for the longest. And actually, it's even worse if we put it on race. Then if you're actually discussing we're trying to talk about race, then I would say the Black Americans have not yet created a lot of mess. The mess that was actually created a lot, and it has been there for years, I've been with a Caucasian. And actually, from the city that I come from, Mombasa in particular, it has been rampant with that kind of position. So I honestly believe this is not about race. It's not about colorism. It's not about Black Americans being fought. Maybe it could be, it has come to a point whereby the Kenyans are feeling that all the Black all the foreigners who are coming to Kenya are actually causing it. Yes, it could be at the moment it is the main topic is Black Americans, but this has been there all through. So people have been feeling kind of a way. People have been having the notion that the foreigners are taking the Kenyans for granted. The visa was open actually for people to come and visit, but now there have been a lot of changes because they've realized the dynamics of the people who are visiting Kenya are coming with different characters. So, for instance, some countries within Africa have already been banned. 2 of them have been banned. They're not allowed to come into Kenya for whatever reason, unless maybe they were doing business or something. I don't know, or maybe special visa, but the tourism visa has blocked them. And recently, as we know that Kenya has declined to renew the 90-day. If you exhaust your 90-day visa, you need to fly back home and fly to another country and come back. But also that could be a problem if you fly in from the first day, or like in between 2 days, it could be a little bit of a problem. So why was that changes made? It was made because of this kind of behavior, and it's not about Black Americans who are coming to Kenya. It's about the dignity of the country, the culture, which is also being protected here, and they don't want people to just abuse the country. So that is why the foreigners are finding it hard to renew the visas, and it has nothing to do with Black Americans. I have to be very clear, because people have become so sensitive. People are becoming, I don't know, they're acting out of guilt, but a lot of people are becoming sensitive about this matter. But government is government; it has to do what it gotta do. So you have to understand that Kenyan visas are easy to get. It's very easy, it's very straightforward. You just click in on your website and apply, and boom, you're with your visa. For us, even Kenyans, to travel to other countries, it's not like that. You have to present a lot of information. You have to prove you're a person of not inferior motives. So the government is also trying to catch up with those kind of regulations, because those regulations are not actually discriminative, but they're actually protecting the country's interest. So thank you, Kobe. I see Kobe is here. Kenya Dispatch News is the new KLA. It looks like, yes. Americans need visa to visit Kenya. Yes, out of 718, we need Americans need a visa. You could actually apply for the East African visa or the Kenyan visa, and it's also in two categories. I think you could apply for the 90-day tourist visa, or you could apply for retirement, or you could apply for a 5-year multi-entry visa too. So every foreigner needs a visa to visit Kenya. Yes. October Rise, you said, as much as we do not discourage foreigners because they improve the economy. I think it's important to make sure that the genuine tourists are not passport bros. Yes. So the government needs to be strict on that. The government needs to come on board and try and find a way how they could easily see, which is not actually very easy, because somebody could present something else, but the action could be different, because you can never judge the intentions of somebody. Like Gerald was coming to Kenya, people never thought he will do the things that he did before he left. So that is why we're actually coming in today, and everyone is also packing. At the moment, people are packing. People are talking about we live in Kenya, and there's been a lot of information like Kenya is not it. Kenya is not too much. I would just say I think it comes to a point whereby there's a lot of expectation about Kenyan, the country itself. People thinking that maybe they will have done whatever they wanted to do and not get caught, or maybe they thought it's a lawless countries and they could actually run away or do something that is in areas and not get arrested, which seems to be the truth, but it's not the truth. Vav, thank you for coming in. Yes, General is here. The General is here. So we are tackling this issue of the passport bros. So they're finding Kenya no longer attractive for that's the passport bros. And why is that? Now they're feeling the Kenyan heat. As we know that Gerald came to Kenya and did a whole mess. If you've been following this issue of Gerald, slandering the women, Kenyan women, and the Kenyan women or the Kenyan society clapped back at Gerelo. They made sure all his YouTube accounts have been dropped. They froze all the financial avenues has been using, Cash Apps, Mebzel. So all those were actually closed for him, and he felt that he felt that the passive aggressiveness, like people are cool with you, but they will lose cool and you lose cool with them. So they are also noticing that is actually possible, and most of them are realizing that also their channels could be taken down for those matters, as we know that many people have been diverting their content to other issues, with the display of women, and the whole display has been taken down because they've realized this could go south anytime. So, and also the government is trying to regulate the tourism sector. At the moment, yes, the government needs the tourists. The government is actually they're in a catch 22 situation whereby they actually need the tourists to come and visit the country, but also they need to protect the country from tourists who are coming to defecate the moral aspect of the society. So the government is in a very catch situation. They are trying to see how to save, to regulate the whole situation, make appropriate laws, because the laws that we have there, some of them are of reference of 60 years ago. So they no longer work in the new digital era, because, as of last 20 years, we do not have people vlogging and posting online for other people to see at the real time. So this is something new. So the law has to be changed a little bit. And this is the issues that are actually being raised at the moment. And the foreigners who are already in Kenya, and it's not only the American brothers, they are actually listening on the ground. They are there on the ground, so they're listening. They're getting to know what the government is planning, and that actually scares them a lot. And also, now the activists have come. They came to the channel, and they did a video, and the video was posted, and they're very clear and categorically explaining as to why they don't need that kind of business back in Kenya. So, and there's a lot of marketing. There's a rapid marketing that has been happening in Kenya, where they're displaying Kenya as that country that is the best for Black Americans, and also the other races too. The Chinese have come to Kenya thinking that this is the best country for investment. Are they doing the investments? Yes, they're doing the investment. The Indians also, they're also doing business. So a lot of communities have come into the country, and they're trying to get the best out of the country. So that has been the situation. So the interest has been there. Every race or particular category of people have been coming to Kenya to find their own things that they really require. So, but in that, I want to discuss, there is something that the foreigners are not explaining, that, or let's say moreover, the passport bros, they're not actually telling you the real situation on the ground. The real situation on the ground is that the countries are very close together society. There could be fighting amongst the tribe, but when it comes to country solidarity on issues on various issues like this ones of the sex tourism and passport drawing, trust me, all the Kenyans who are enemies, they'll come together and defend this. So they are now realizing now that this is actually something that their community in Kenya are very serious with. I know most of you don't follow a lot, even after knowing about Kenya, but I think it was either last week or 2 weeks ago, there was a gentleman who was actually showing his life on TikTok, showing that he's caring for his stroke father. And Kenyans from all corners of the country came to visit the boy in his own village. People left like 700 kilometers, 500 kilometers, 200 kilometers, 150, wherever they came from in Kenya. They were coming to visit, and they actually gifted the boy, made sure they bought him clothes, and they even got him a partnership deal. So he's actually now ambassador for a company. So that shows you how the Kenyan community is. When I see the likes of, I'll actually mention him because he did a video and said the Kenyan men don't care about the Kenyan women, which I don't think is true. And then actually it was very unfortunate. And I think he should actually apologize, because one of the people who did the videos have already contacted. The people who are there who doing the videos, they've already contacted, and they're saying they're not happy, they're not pleased with that. So Austin needs to be called out, and he needs to be told that whatever he's doing is no longer helping. It's not. We are trying to solve this matter, but he is also causing more damage. So if he wants the smoke, he will get the smoke. Trust me, he will get the smoke, because the Kenyan society right now, they are now working on this. People are mad why Jerelo was never arrested in Kenya, but the law says that if somebody is not there to press charges, most definitely that could be easily be as a way of getting away from the situation. But also the government also could charge. But the government at the moment, they have many things. This is not a matter of interest at the moment. So Gerald was actually lucky, but not as lucky because he's also not telling that people that he's actually banned from visiting Kenya and maybe also the East African countries, because a notification will be given. Because if he goes into any East African country, he could easily still come back to Kenya on road. So that is actually a problem. That was a low belt on him. He's taking a break because he know that he did crimes and he doesn't want this to be escalated, and maybe the US government go for him because he's also punishable back in the States. So the another thing that the passport brothers are not telling you is that there've been a lot of tightening of the rules of the visas. They have been trying to find ways on how to minimize the passport borrowing. They're also trying to see how they can take the women out of the streets, or those brothels that are doing that kind of promotion. So there's actually a lot of behind the scene from the government. So another issue that the passport brothers are not telling you is that also the Kenyan women know the business of the passport bro. And so if you come to Kenya and thinking that you will have an easy way out, then that's a lie. That's a big lie. The Kenyan women have seen this behavior, and it's not about the black Americans or the passport bros who now they call themselves that. They, in my city, I will tell you, as young as I was raised, in my 36 years of life, this business has been there with the Caucasian people. It has been, it has flourished. We have seen, and it's so sad that a lot of Kenyans have been trying to tell us and Holman that whatever you're doing could actually have detrimental effects in the near future. But he actually assumed what the gentleman was saying, but they were actually telling him the truth of what goes around in Kenya, because we have incidents of Caucasian men who came to Kenya, or you call them white people. They came to Kenya thinking that they will have fun, they will enjoy their lives, they will do everything. But at the end of the day, we have stories. If you go on YouTube, you can find white people walking in the streets, poor, homeless. It's not easy. So I think it was a good favor that the brothers in Africa, and I've seen a lot of now trending topics right now. They're saying there's a division between Africans and Black Americans. No, the black people from Kenya or Africa, they don't really care about the color. They don't really care about your race. People are busy with their lives. People are trying to better themselves. So there's no actually more fights. And actually, it was just a favor, and heads up to be told what needs to go right in the society. So for me, I find it to be a pity that somebody raised the alarm and people took it as a joke. People thought it was something else. So also they're not telling you that yes, they're saying life is cheap in Kenya. It's quite easy to maneuver in terms of what the dollar could do in the market. Yes, that is true. But also, you have to remember that in some in this position where you're actually coming to Kenya and leaving, it could be also a very big trap for yourself, because if you're coming to Kenya at the ages, and I think our friend Nana Kwaku did a video and explained it very well, that if you are in your young age, you don't need to live in Kenya. You don't need to live in Africa. This is the right time to work your finances up. A lot of Kenyans are planning to leave the country. Many Kenyans are planning to leave the country, not because there's something wrong, but they just need to leave to finance themselves up. Me myself, I moved out of Kenya, and it's basically just to move myself up. Get education, get your finances up, so that whatever you go back home to retire, you have enough to sustain you and take you for a long run. So that's another lie, that they're forcing people to come to Kenya. A lot of people have faced hardships, and this is not even, like, you might, people might normally say that, white people could be better, they have better understanding, but we have a lot of white people who have come to Kenya and they got stuck. There's some who are stuck, actually. They can't go back. They can't even buy their own flight. And worst of all, they're living a lifestyle that even Kenyans themselves don't, some of them don't live that kind of lifestyle, you know. So it's a very sad position or situation, actually, if I may say. It's something that, you people really need to think about it. Yes, I believe you could come to Kenya, visit your 2 months, your 3 months, or be going back and forth, which is actually very healthy. It breaks the monotonous of, an 8 to 5 all the daytime working, for long hours. So if you're working for 3 months and take a break for 1 month, I think that makes sense. That is actually workable. You maybe try and get your home area. Yes, that's something that you could do. But living in Kenya, that is just a big trap. You get yourself into big problems and things may go south. So I'll go back to the comment section. Kobe say Kenya is not for sale. Yes, it's not for sale, definitely. Is the visa requirement something new, or it has been always like this? Out of 17, the visa policies have been changing. They're trying to make it more attractive, but also they're trying to sieve, so that we cannot have criminals coming back into the country. So Auto said, how can the authorities determine who is a passport bro? Yeah, that's where the government now is in a catch-22 situation, as I mentioned. It's quite hard to get hold of. But with incidents like where General came and did his mess, the government now will, they'll have somebody, they have their fingerprints, so they will know this is the same person. So that is the first way of the government knowing how they could do. They could also do the monitoring, on their socials, try and see what they are doing for life, try and question them what they are doing in the regions that they went to in Kenya. So that is also another way the government could actually intervene or get to know how to do it. Most Americans don't travel to countries with visa requirements. So my question is there always been a visa requirement for American citizens? Yes, it has been. Americans have been arriving to Kenya on visa on arrival for a very long time, and then it was changed. They could get the visa online, and now they have a special visa known as electronic, I think, travel advisor or something. So with Americans, as they need a visa to come to Kenya for a very long time. And I think it's all about, if your country has visa restriction, so they also do the same to your country. So if you give them visa restriction, they will also reciprocate to the same uh, uh, you know visa requirements. So that's how it goes. Another thing that came up with the video that of the press that was done is that a lot of people had a lot of, they didn't understand what the people from the press wanted. The people from the press are saying you are welcome. Most definitely the people are welcome, but as you're coming into the country, please respect the law, please respect the women, come and tour, do your stuff in the country, but be people, be a person of integrity, be a person of honor and respect. That's what the people and also the government, I believe so, require from you as a foreigner as you visit the country. And not only Kenya, but I think also other countries. It's the same way. So I will tell you for a fact that Austin Holman and Kid Greatness have done a lot of mistakes, and I honestly believe the end route to plan to move to other countries, it's because of a notification. It could be from the government, maybe the DCI, that's a criminal, the Director of Criminal Investigation Department. Maybe they could have notified them that their behaviors are they're being washed, and if a judgment is made, it means that they could leave the country. And some of them have already settled in. They have their own homes. They are living. So it's a very hard position that they're in at the moment. And I think if anyone wants to join me on the panel, I could welcome. I will just pin the. Let me pin this. Let me pin. Let's go. Let me pin it. There you go. So at the moment, that is the position that the government is taking, and it's actually a very serious position that the government has taken, and people should be very, very vigilant that also when the citizens make those kind of requests, or they make those kind of stands that they require you to act in a certain way. I will tell you for 100% that the Kenyan people are way more stronger than the government. Yes, it may look that the government are in charge, but I will tell you, in the Kenyan law, or the Kenyan constitution, gives the society, or back to the people. The people have a bigger what can I say? The people have a bigger say in what the running the daily running of the economy. And actually, the gentleman that we actually interviewed, or the people who came for the press, who requested for the press, have a very strong. Yes, they look young, but trust me, even the politicians do listen to them. So if they raise any matter to the society, it's actually picked so fast, because these people have a lot of wit. Like they I can say they make
Okay. Sorry.
Sorry, that was a mistake. So there's a lot of wit that these people carry, and they're actually very famous in the country. They're known for this kind of if they are known for this kind of information that they normally give. So I believe at the moment, as much as we have seen the press being done, people need to take it very seriously, because what I can tell you is it's not going to be easy as people think about those situation. Yes, it was just, I know it was a small press which was done, but I believe they are supposed to be doing another press on tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I don't know which day. They say they need another press. So this is getting momentum, and it's gonna get boiling soon. And the thing in Kenya is that it's not we are not xenophobic. We are not actually we don't have xenophobia issues. We don't fight to anybody. So what I believe is that we have a problem that needs to be sorted, and the way the people are gonna sort this issue will depend with how also with how the citizens take it. If they take it positive, yes. If they don't take it positive, trust me, this could actually turn into something else. So for me, I will just say people just need to be very careful. People need to be very, very careful. So today I will just take in a lot of I will just take a few of the discussion from other people. I will not accept every request. You just bear with me, because this is a very sensitive information, and at the moment I'm actually not only in charge, but this is information that the government could be listening at the moment. So let's be a little bit careful, because I'm just representing the channel, and also the government is listening to this. So if I decline your request today, just bear with me. If anyone wants to join, you want to say something, just let me know. I'll just put you up. So I find a lot of confusion at the moment. There's a lot of confusion at the moment, and I believe the confusion is actually causing them to leave the country, and that is something that I knew was going to happen. And another moment, we are very, very sorry for what happened to the foreigners. The situation, um, if Jerry was handled well, that could be a different ball all get together. But the situation has gotten worse and worse and worse. And I'm telling you, 100% from me, who I know how the government works and how the things are running. It is not looking good. That's what I can say. Welcome, Kobe. Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Um, yeah, this is a big issue. And like you said, you know, Kenya is not xenophobic by any
Yes.
means, not at all. That needs to be made clear. However, the behavior that is taking place is at a fever pitch because, like kind of like you mentioned, it's with the advent of the internet, everything is online, but it doesn't have to be online. But people have monetized it and now are inviting other people because they don't have money to go there. So it's easy for them to say, oh, you guys come, I'll send you, I'll sell you a consultation. Um, Come out and I'll show you what to do, one, two, three. And I'll say, plain out loud, the way Austin has gone about selling Kenya has invited the worst of the worst
Yes.
from this passport bro movement. Like if you watch his video from today, they were talking about like, Kenyan women as if they're commodities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem. We're not, we can't do that. I've said in a couple of other live streams that culturally we are different, but that doesn't mean that we cannot understand one another. But to commoditize our people and our culture and just invite anybody into the country, no. So the voice is only going to get louder. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and that's true. Back to you, Kobe. I will tell you, there's the same people, and I think another group also are requesting for another press. Like, I don't know. It's like there are two media companies airing this. It was this channel that was actually airing this, and another company is also airing this the same information. And at the moment now, they are requesting even other channels to come on board and try and address this issue. And us as Kenyans, we know how this goes. It starts with one person, and then it goes to another, and then it goes to another, and then it becomes a full blown. And what happened with the Somali. Somalia has been agitating Kenya to fight back for a very long time. The police had to get involved last Sunday because it was
Yeah,
getting
and
ugly.
yeah, and that war with Somalia has been going on since the 60s. I mean, there've been brushes
Yes.
back and forth. I mean, we've were actually had soldiers in Somalia. But like the other thing too is that Kenyans don't hate Somali people. That's another thing that needs to also be made clear as foreigners are looking at Kenya. We don't hate Somalis, right? But there
And some
has
of
been
Somalis are
terrorism.
actually Kenyans by birth.
Yeah, yeah,
By
it's true. By birthright.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
they,
right.
they they own the northern part of the
Yeah.
countries.
There's
Yes.
there's there's the tribe, like the way Kenya is split up was split up by colonial powers, right? Like the Italians and the British, along lines of that really focusing on whose tribe is where as far as like territory. So there's Kenyans, I mean there's Somali on both ends, right? That we can't think that, again, Somalis are bad people. They're not. They're good people. I have friends that are Somali. I grew up with them. Um, Are they good? Are they bad? Same thing as with Kenyans. There's good and there's bad, and there's terrorism. And the idea, like for example, and I think the reason why KG's leaving and Austin's really going to have a tough time even moving forward, and he's already had a hard time, is the filming, whether the restaurants, the bars, and stuff like that. I said it on Nana's channel yesterday.
Yes.
I said yesterday on Nana's channel is that there's an issue with the going ahead and filming while you're out and about. From a security perspective, the Kenyan government doesn't like that because that's how terrorist attacks have happened in the past.
Yes.
You go, you film hotels, restaurants, bars, other places, and then next thing you know, there's an attack, right? And that's why they're sensitive to that. Now, Papa Bros, they don't like it because they want to show people exactly what is going on in the country. But they also have to understand culturally and from a perspective of security, just the same as there's rules in the United States or in any other country, you can't go do certain things. It's the same thing in Kenya. You don't like it, you don't have to stay. You can always leave.
True. And like what, during the time when we had terrorism in inside Kenya, the allegations of how they knew to move around, it was all because they were recording, they were visiting the places, and the government took a lot of restriction into that. They did a lot of laws, they did a lot of changes, a lot of, if you go to, if you have never seen a country that has security all over the country, is Kenya at the moment. There's a lot of security everywhere in the malls. Before you enter the mall, there's a security checking you up. If you have metal devices or weapons, they'll get you. They'll actually find that in you. So
Yeah, it's a big thing. And I remember like how it was when I was growing up. Like I think the same thing for you.
yes.
Security wasn't as tight. Like you could go in and out of malls, it wasn't a big deal. I mean, you had security in general, but the patting down of going into hotels and into restaurants, the nicer ones that is, and the malls and all these different places, that's in the last 15, 20 years. It wasn't like that, and it's only going to get tighter, right?
Yes.
And if again, if you're a tourist and you don't like what the rules are in the country, don't get online and complain about it and think you're going to get some sympathy, right? It is what it is. And for anyone who has an issue with us telling them, like, whenever we've had bad actors and, like, whenever going back the whole thing with Jay Rello, there's people who were complaining about it online, and it was like we reached out to them, and he said, "You understand your system. Why don't you reach out to your government to do something about their citizen?" And their thought process was not that's not the way it is in the United States. It's not my problem, not my focus, right? I reached out to Carlos Red. I reached out to Traverse Culture. I reached out to KG. Reached out to Austin. They're like, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. It's not my country. Then why visit? If you understand the rules and the laws according to the way they are in the United States and how all of that goes in, why not reach out to the FBI? Send in all these requests to go ahead and do something about an American citizen who's committing crimes overseas. And it's not a maybe was he doing it? He was doing it.
I think that was that was actually the general thing was just flopped. The Kenyan government flopped. Ourselves as the Kenyans, we flopped. The Black Americans flopped. The American government flopped too. I think it was just he was just lucky and he played around the system. So it's a
Yeah, I'm
sad.
seeing. Yeah, I'm seeing in the comments. Carlos said he called the U.S. Embassy numerous times. I don't know whether or not
I
that's
I,
true,
saw him,
but I
I saw
remember
he had
when.
gone. He had just he had. I wanted to click in, but it's kind of like he dropped off.
Yeah, I asked him myself, please reach out. He said it's not my problem. Even in his recordings, he said it's not my problem. So for him to say that he reached out to the U.S. Embassy, I don't really think that that's true.
So another thing I mentioned about like the lies that have been told about Kenya. What kind of lies do you think was being said about Kenya?
Um, I think the biggest thing right now is that Kenyans don't like, Black Americans. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. Again, it's calling out the behavior and saying it needs to stop. But I also think that, in my opinion, there's a attitude of, oh, you know, I'm a victim here. So if you're saying one person, I assume that you're saying all of us, and therefore that's always going to stay. No, stop. We're calling out the behavior. You don't like it, you don't have to visit, but those are the rules. People don't want to be recorded. Don't commercialize the women, and that's it. Can you hear me? Hello?
Sorry, my voice was muted. I said, what other thing do you think was given as a lie too?
I mean, as I said, it's the whole thing about, Africans, or specifically Kenyans, hate African Americans or Black Americans. We don't, you
But
know.
one funny thing is that the people who are saying that we hate them, they are living in Kenya and they can see from every side of the corner. There's a lot of graffiti, and with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, all the rappers, almost about all the rappers are they have matatus branded with their faces. All the celebrities, in America. So Kenyans do. What can I say? Is it like praise, or is it fantasize, or people
Yeah.
are into American culture that deep? You remember back in
But no,
the
that's
day
the
when we had
biggest,
MTV?
marketing tool for the United States is, it's culture, it's music,
Yes.
it's movies. That's how people get to see America. So we are,
Uh, Kobe, do
in
you
Kenya,
still
people are
remember?
very,
Do you still remember when we had Sky News, when we had
yeah, yeah, I remember
MTV?
that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
like the days that I remember when even the information about the death of Shakur. I remember
Yeah, yeah, I
a
remember
lot
that.
of
Yeah.
Kenyans cried as if it was their
Yeah.
own.
So,
Yeah.
growing up with American culture, it's not anything that is new to us,
Yes.
So again, to say that we hate, no, we don't, but we'll call
We
our
don't,
cult,
and
issues
actually
as we see them.
people even don't care because like people sometimes they make connotation that the Mzungu word is abusive, but it's not even any closer to being to be referred as an abuse.
Yeah,
Actually, people just refer them to that name because the name was just because they were moving around and people didn't understand what it was. That movement was for what purpose? You know,
yeah, yeah.
maybe
And
that's
and
what led us
again,
to. Yeah, that's what led us to the colonization. But people are just wondering why are these people moving around the same place for a long time. So when the kids see them, they were like, yeah, so you're the guy who comes to a country just to visit. So and they're just amazed. People are just amazed. So I don't think we have issues with anybody coming to the country. We will have
yeah, and
issues when you come to the country and trying to create a lot of damage.
yeah, just to answer some of the question, some of the comments that I see here.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. I see Otter718 asks, "How is the Kenyan Airlines making out with these adjustments? Is there a direct flight from New York to Nairobi?" Oh, there is a direct flight from New York to Nairobi. Yes, there is a direct flight from New York to Nairobi. It's, I think, 2 or 3 times a week. Yeah, let's see. Um, okay, Carlos, you said that. Okay, you already addressed it. Okay. Scope trust, they respect the laws. I don't want to take over your channel. I just want to answer some of the questions that people have that they think. Oh, he does say, for Scope Trust, he asks, even Austin, KG, most Black Americans have supported their videos instead of condemning them. And that's true. If you look at the videos, that even Rel still has right now on Twitter, because his YouTube channels are taken out. You see people praising and talking about, again, commercializing and commoditizing Kenyan women, and just going in and just, for Kenyans who are seeing that, again, Kenyans online all the time. It's like, see, there's a problem here. There's a problem, right? And I don't know whether or not it's, just what you call like liquid courage, like you're not showing your face and you're able to just say whatever on the internet. But there is a problem with that. And Kenya itself is a conservative society, right?
Yes,
Almost half
very.
the nation is Muslim, the rest are, predominantly Christian. you can't go do stuff like that and think that you're just gonna get away with it in that society.
One thing that shocks me is like when Black Americans come, when Caucasian were coming all the years, they never try and created that race difference. They never said, "Oh,
Yeah.
why are the Indians doing here? Why are the Somalis doing here?" Because these have become part of the society. These
Hmm.
are people who have become part of the society, mostly the Indians, because the Somalis are native to the country.
Yeah,
So
this is what I'll say. So the excuse they're saying is, oh, you let the Chinese do this to your people, you let the Indians do this to your people. As a
yes,
general society, Kenyans don't have a problem with them. Are there bad apples? The same thing like you're talking in this case, yes. The difference that they have done is this: they have actually integrated in the community. So I don't know if you know this, but you will find Chinese kids going to Kenyan, like local Kenyan schools,
yes,
right? Same thing for the Indians, right? And you could say the same thing about white people, but they tend to go to like the international schools, which tend to be more expensive. But they're trying to like fit into the community. They're building up the place. And we're not saying that it shouldn't happen. It does happen. Americans have been coming to Kenya for decades. But this recent behavior is what's alarming people.
true.
Right?
It's all
Looks
about
like
give and
Carlos
accord.
wants to come up.
Oh,
Um,
let me pick him. Let
yeah.
me pick him.
Hey, you know what? I gotta get off for about 10 minutes, but I'll be back.
Okay, sure, no problem. Let me and
Okay.
Nana. Thank you, Nana, for coming in. Thank you, Carlos, for
Okay.
coming. Yes,
All right. Can I speak, please?
sure.
I'm not sure where he got. I would never in a million years say it's not my problem. I've been fixated on bringing that piece of shit, Jay Revel, to justice for 3 years, and I thought we finally had that piece of shit. I called the U.S. Embassy numerous times. I did everything I could to try to find out where he was at, hoping someone could give me some information. When the police was called, I thought they were going to do something. They had him right there. They didn't do shit. So what are we supposed to do? They want to blame us for that? We have no control of what the Kenyan police does. We have no control of what the U.S. Embassy does. So how the heck is our fault?
So let me put it like this, Carlos, to you. What happened is that the FBI or the U.S. government said that if a valid case is put through, then they will pick it up. So with the Kenyan police also, they found it so hard to prosecute the case with Jerelo because they actually arrested him, and they found it so hard to prosecute the case. And with the law, Kenya law says that you cannot hold somebody for 24 hours. They have their own freedoms of rights. So
Okay,
if
okay,
somebody did not come and press the charges, so Jerry law is led to go by, you know.
okay.
So American government could not sue him or take up the case, and the Kenyan government was finding so hard to create the case on Jerry law.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they understand that it's not my fault. I have no.
No,
I am not in the U.S. government. I left the U.S. government when I left the U.S. military because of where I was treated. I could have went back to work as a civilian, but I chose not to because of the way I was treated. But I did everything I could to
I don't
alert
think
the
this is
embassy
this. I don't
about
think this is
that.
an individual case. I don't think this is an individual case. This is all about the laws. Yeah, the
But
laws were crisscrossing each other, and I'm telling you for sure. Watch out in the next 2 years. There will be a lot of changes in the immigration laws in Kenya.
okay, they're gonna start requiring visas or something like that
No, no,
because
no. They might tighten some rules. Maybe they will require you deposit some money, or you give them information of where you're gonna stay, something like that. I think,
well,
and
okay,
they need to.
if they require that you give the names of people that can vouch for you, because I have a lot of friends in Kenya. I'm good. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
I won't have any problems. I got
I don't know what the government has in store, but I will tell you for sure that is actually a work in progress at the moment.
right
Yes.
because Jay Rello would not have had anyone in Kenya to vouch for him. All right, he is
Oh yeah,
trash.
100%.
He is a piece of trash, and
But
I've
but do you
hated.
know? But do you
I,
know? Do you know?
I
Do you know that he has been banned from coming to Kenya?
oh, good, good,
Yeah,
good.
he can he
That's
can
a
fly into
start.
Kenya.
So at
He can
least
fly
something
into
was
Kenya. He can fly into any East African countries at the moment.
okay.
And
Yeah,
and that
okay.
and that and that I'm sorry to say, but I'm not supposed to have said it. That may extend to Austin and Kid Greatness.
Well, I have a low opinion of Kid Greatness. Now, Austin Holland have made some improvements on how he used to run his damn mouth and embarrass us with his what he says. So I don't really have that much of a problem with Austin Holland right now.
Yeah,
But
that
it's,
that
mostly
also me, I would say he has tried to make them improvement, but you see, the Kenyan government looks at the damage already created. You know,
right. Yeah,
they're looking at the damage created. So if they happen to leave Kenya at 50%, they will have problems coming into Kenya.
Okay, all right. So
And
that'll fix the problem right there.
He did a video and said about visa hopping, and I'll tell you, and I'll say it here even on the live channel without fear, that one government officer was not actually pleased, and they're really thinking about that situation. And that's what I'm saying. If they leave Kenya today, at 50%, they will have a problem coming in.
Okay, good. I don't want them there no more than you guys want them there. You know,
It's
I've
not that
always
no
said,
one wants them. No, it's not that nobody wants them. People just want them to act normal, live life, enjoy Kenya, the fruits it gives you. Forget about all the things you're doing that is actually spoiling
They
the country.
cannot act normal, bro. These people cannot
well,
act normal.
well, you have pookies, and that's what we call them in Black America, degenerates. And there's a difference between passport bros and passport pookies, but everybody gets thrown under the same umbrella for some reason.
The problem is that within the society in Kenya, if you explain that, they're saying no, all those are passport brothers.
Well, that's not the definition of a passport bro.
What is the definition of a
I
passport bro?
understand.
Men who are sick and tired of the toxic dating culture in America because the women are toxic and disrespectful. Okay,
But how does a foreign country know who is toxic?
Wanting to
How
get
does
away
a foreign
from that.
dude?
It
How does a
has
foreign
nothing to do
country
with-
know? How does a foreign country know who is toxic and who isn't? Do you even understand how international
I
rules work?
understand that, sir.
If you arrive in my country, how do I know if you're running away from a toxic relationship or if you are coming there to commit crimes?
Well, that's why you go.
Let me tell you what the definition of a passport bro is. It's not what you perceive it to be. This is what it is.
I don't care about your definition.
Well,
I know what it is because I know
then they do care. Then they do care when you come into their countries. They don't. Nobody cares what you think the original definition is.
I understand that, sir.
What we have here is people traveling to engage in sexual crimes.
Okay, you think I support that? Are you serious?
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. Anybody that comes, anybody that makes sex, anybody that makes sex.
You don't have to.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I go to these groups, and at this point, I don't even know.
How many times have you seen my live stream? And you think that I might support that? You gotta be joking. This is a joke, right?
Carlos,
I've been preaching against that behavior for 3 years now.
Carlos,
where have you been?
Carlos, I think part of the problem is so deflecting to say Black women are the reason why these guys were created. That's not, Kenyan society's problem. To say no one really cares about how it started. That's exactly. we don't care about that.
Well, I don't expect you guys to care. But I'm saying is that wait a minute. Okay, I gotta go someplace else because I'm disturbing my house right now. But what I'm saying is, okay, it doesn't have to be Kenya. People go anywhere and everywhere they want to go. All right, and that's why they travel. And they had a lot of success doing that. But unfortunately, we have pookies in our community. When they hear about it, they only think about one thing and one thing only: sex. That's all they care about. That's all they want. That's all they think about. So those clowns, they hear about how good things are in these other countries. It's nothing like toxic dating America, toxic American dating. So they want to come too. And then you get clowns like Jay Riddle that come. And then we got oh, damn. Now, I was like, when my friend in Kenya told me that I knew a guy named Rello, and then oh God, I hope it's not Jay Rello, and sure enough, it was. I didn't think he was going to actually go to Kenya, but he did, and it really made me angry.
Let me
the
ask you
thing
a
about it
simple
is
question.
this.
I got a
No,
simple question for you. Let me ask you a simple question.
okay. Before
Please.
I answer your question, I want to make it clear. I denounce any type of debauchery behavior by anyone, period. Especially from my own people, because
I
their
understand that.
conduct reflects negatively on me for some strange
Listen,
reason.
you
Even
think
though I never,
you're taking a big load saying, don't worry about what other people are doing within the culture. It's a debate, right? Like you can't speak for everybody within Black American
Exactly.
culture,
I'm
right?
okay. I'm
So we
speaking
get
for
it. You're speaking for
myself.
yourself. We
I,
understand that.
I'm talking about myself. I denounce any type of bad behavior by anybody.
Got it. Okay.
And that's why I've been preaching about this damn Jay Rello for 3 years. And I thought something was going to finally happen to him. I was hoping that the Kenyans would catch up with him and beat the crap out of him,
You
but it
beat
didn't
that
happen.
horse down and it's into the ground. We get it. We
Let me ask a
understand,
question, guys. I
Carlos.
got one simple question I want to ask. I'm gonna give out 2 or 3 names and give me a classification. I'll probably shut up after this. BMT, Austin Holloman, Zoom to Thailand. Are they passport bros?
They are.
Yeah, they are, except for
Okay.
Wait a minute.
How?
What was the name again? BMT. He's a passport bro.
Okay, so
Zoom to Thailand. He's a
BMT.
passport bro. And who was
Okay.
the other person he said?
Austin.
Let
Austin
me even.
Holland.
What about the guy
He's
Razor? Is Razor a passport bro? Razor Ray?
no, hell no.
Okay. May give me some of the names that you guys know. I just want to see who else is out there. So okay, BMT, or the guy I reacted to, the guy in Panama. What is his name? Gambo or Gembo?
I don't know what that person is.
He's got
All right.
80,000 subscribers.
Right.
Okay, so these guys that I just mentioned, they are passport bros. To Kenyans and to Ghanaians and to some of us, they are not any different from Jirello. Austin
Exactly. They're
Holloman is
one and the
not
same.
any different from Jirello. So I don't care how much you scream about who is and who isn't. As far as I'm concerned, and there's enough data and evidence to prove it,
Yeah.
Austin Holloman is a sex tourist.
In fact,
That is a passport bro.
specifically
Oh,
about
okay. All
Austin,
right. All right.
specifically
Okay. All
about
right. Okay.
Austin.
All right.
Well, let me finish, Carlos. I'm talking, right? Just one at a time. It's about Austin. I've called him out on BMT's channel. I called him out on his own live stream today because last December on Patreon, his channel, he had a video up there. He took down like within about a week or two of making it. But on that video, he admitted to nearly killing a Kenyan woman, right? She bled so much, he had to take her to um, the emergency room. And he thought he was going to go to prison because her family was going to report him. And in the video, he said, "You can see the marks on my neck and on my face," right? And he did have marks and there's blood on his face, right? And he said, "I almost killed this woman and I paid the family off and I paid her off." BMT, when I said that, like, I think it was yesterday, the day before, they're like, "Oh, you're lying. What are the receipts?" I said, I'm not a man of bluster. I don't say things just to say it. I'm very deliberate, right? And I thought through this. When was the right time to go ahead and bring it up? And so I sent BMT the screenshot because he also put a message. He took the video down because his subscribers said, "Take it down." And I took the screenshot of the message. It might still be up on Patreon. I don't know. And I sent it to BMT. He didn't address it. He didn't even want to look at it, right? And so if you think about it, for me, from my perspective as an African man, as a Kenyan man, seeing the disregard, because even as I brought it up, he said, "Oh, maybe it's just an exaggeration because you Africans take things so seriously." Let me be serious then, because you're saying you nearly killed a woman, right? And he had to take the video down. Patreon still has that in its archives. That can be got if it had to go to court. But the fact that you're telling me that you almost did this to a countrywoman of mine and you want me to just brush it off and just accept that you guys can commercialize or commoditize Kenyan women online? No, I can't. No way. As long as I have breath in my lungs, I will make sure we got rid of Jay Rello. That's why he's in hiding. KG just said he's leaving Kenya. Next is Austin. We are making sure that this takes place the way it needs to. You will not commercialize the land of my forefathers and my ancestors because you want to go ahead and make a couple of dollars just because you're too broke to travel on your own money. It will not happen. And I'll say it again, resources, time, and the ability to do all kinds of damage.
Okay.
Because to think about what he did, and again, I'll say it again, he did it. And if he wants to take me to court, let's go do it. Because
Okay.
that is an actual crime.
Okay. Can I speak, please? All right. Now, okay. Now, wait, did he purposely, was it like an accident, or is just he just assaulted a woman for no reason?
Listen, so I'll read, in fact, you know what? While you're on here, I'll read you what the exact screenshot said. Give me a second. So
Okay.
he talked about the red pill, right? And he was talking about like, and he tells you about the red pill. Long story short, he looked for a virgin, right? And he basically, they had sex or whatever, but to have just to think about having had that much sex in a woman nearly, because he said his bed was covered in blood.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He assaulted her. He beat her up. What
I
happened?
said okay. So give me a second, real quick.
I got kicked. I had some technical difficulties. I didn't hear the
Yeah,
whole story. I'm
no,
just
I
asking.
hear you. Just hold on a second, okay? Hold on a second. So he specifically looked for a woman who was a virgin, right? I guess it's part of some red pill thing that he talks about. I'm gonna read you verbatim and then kind of give you the context. He said, red pill propaganda. Next time any red pill influencer tells you that you need a virgin, that is bullshit. Tell them that I fucked a virgin and she bled so much to the point where she almost died. That happened today. That was last December, on the 28th. In the video, he said the same thing. And on his face, he was covered with blood, with scratch marks. And he said, I almost thought I was going to go to prison today. He admitted it. And as I said, I'll keep saying it for him. And and I brought it up today on this channel, right? He brushed it off like it was nothing, but he didn't deny it.
Okay, so he has sex with a virgin, and something went wrong, basically. Okay, you feel it was malicious? He purposely did that?
Okay, Carlos, are you listening to what I'm saying?
I'm listening to what you're saying. Okay, all right.
Okay.
I have a problem with Austin Holloman too. Okay, all right.
The man specifically looked for this girl. I'm assuming at this point in time in your life, you've had sex, right? To get graphic, you have. If a woman tells you no, because he said,
years, yes.
But here's the thing, yes, the woman told him to stop, because even he said the woman told him to stop. If the fact that this woman was bleeding as much as she was, right? And in the videos that he's made before and past, and he left Brazil based for the same thing, sexual tourism, because even CNN Brazil tried to contact him, and he denies the whole story of having been chased out of Brazil. Why did you leave in such haste? Why haven't you gone back?
Well, the reason why he was chased out of Brazil, because he was online saying some things that the BLK American women.
I get it.
Can I finish, please? Jesus. He was online saying some things that pissed off a lot of Black American women. All right. And they were angry. They're furious. They think he's the leader of the Passport Bros, which he isn't. And they contacted some feminists that was in Brazil, and they were monitoring every freaking thing he said. And they was putting some heat on him, and he had to leave. That's why. He wasn't official.
That's a conspiracy theory.
That's what happened. No, it's not a conspiracy theory. That's what happened.
It's a conspiracy theory.
That's not a conspiracy theory. That's exactly what happened. He was not officially kicked out, because if he was kicked out, why is he able to go back?
So what I'm telling you is
I think you're throwing out a conspiracy theory, sir.
Okay. See, Carlos, this is a problem again. Why we have a problem with not being able to have a decent conversation where I'm stating facts.
You don't want to accuse me of a conspiracy theory.
I'm not your child. Don't raise your voice to me.
And don't say I'm giving out a conspiracy.
Don't raise your voice, sir. I'm not your child.
I'm talking to you.
Tone it down.
No, don't talk to me like a child. Please. I know you're pissed off about how some Black Americans treated you in the U.S. And I was.
Why are you acting like the one who's being criticized? Enough with it, Carlos. Enough. Can't you just have a decent conversation? What I'm telling you is the truth. And I can send you the screenshots. You send me an email
All right.
address, I'll give it to you. In
Okay,
fact, I'll even
thanks.
send you the screenshots that he has from CNN Brazil asking him, what comment do you have about this story before it gets published? And he was making fun of her. He's like, yeah, look at these dummies. See, his
Right,
problem is
yeah.
he's arrogant, right?
Right, yeah,
And no one has
I know
stopped
he
him,
has issues. I agree, he has issues.
right?
He has
And
a
what I'm
lot of
saying that
issues.
he did in Kenya, I'm not taking it like, oh, maybe there's a misunderstanding. There's no misunderstanding. You said you were in the military,
Yeah,
right?
never
I
said
don't
it
know
was
what branch you were in,
misunderstanding.
and so was I. And I'm gonna tell you this: you know how much sexual assault happened in the military, and I'm assuming you went through tons of training. Telling you, when a woman says no, it is absolutely fucking no. It's not maybe. It's not possibly. It's fucking no.
Okay, of course,
And
we
then
all
brag
know
about it.
that.
And then if he wasn't guilty, why did he take the video down? That's the thing. And people told him, dude, take it down. It's incriminating. It is. And he took it and he took it down.
Okay, all right. Now, okay, I wasn't aware of all this, and thanks for sharing this. I wasn't aware of this. That's why I was
If you want
asking
a screenshot,
questions.
I'll tell you. If you want a screenshot, I can send it to you.
Okay, fine. Okay, right. Well, we already know Kid Greatness is a piece of shit. We already know that Jay Rello is a piece of shit, and nobody has shown no more hatred toward Jay Rello and Kid Greatness than me. You know, it's like, damn, why you hate them so much? People ask me that because they make us look bad. All right, I guess I got to add Austin Holloman to that list because he was an idiot in the beginning, but he seems like he was calming down and acting more normal. But I wasn't aware what he was doing in Kenya. I wasn't aware because it was never made public to me.
Exactly.
And we don't, and the people that follow me in my circle, we don't follow Austin Holloman at all. We don't even acknowledge him. We don't even consider him a part of the movement. He's just someone who got his channel. His channel just got big because he kept saying controversial stuff. That's how we see him. All right.
And you know what? That is, he likes that controversy because it builds up his persona and all that stuff. But even as we speak right now, he has mentioned he is getting shut down anytime he goes out. Like KG just said, anytime I go out, someone gets in my face about recording them. Someone gets in my face about, filming them and doing this and doing that. And he thinks that, that fame comes with all these accolades. He's a joke.
Okay, right. Now I'm not standing up for Austin Holloman. I have a low opinion of him. I just have a bigger negative opinion of Kid Greatness and Jay Rello. So, all right, okay. So all three of them need to go then. Yeah, that's good. All right, and I'm not acting as if someone's criticizing me. I'm just trying to figure out
if you
what's
want that
going
screenshot,
on.
Carlos,
No, I believe you.
I can send it to you. I can send it to you.
I believe you. It's just that, yeah. But the problem I have is the generalization of Black American men. I have a problem with that. All right, I have a big problem with that. And when someone can't distinguish the difference between me and someone like Jay Rello, I have a problem with that.
Listen,
which I feel
but they don't have
check
to.
it out.
Carlos,
Kenyans don't see it that way. Africans don't see it that way. We go off of the national identity, the tribal. The whole thing about race doesn't really affect most Africans because they don't experience it in a day-to-day life. So this idea that I'm looking at you like
I'm not talking about race. I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about understanding. Like, okay, like you from Kenya, right? And I've been to Kenya. I've seen some bums over there in Kenya. That's like me saying that you're just like those bums in Kenya, just because you're from the same country. Would that be fair?
No, but are there more bums? Are there more of them doing that versus the ones that are not doing that?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Okay, all right. I see what's going on here.
Right. I mean, you got to take this into context. Here's the thing.
Right.
The people that you have visited, they don't have to do anything to learn about you. They don't care. People are going to form opinions based on what you present to them. If you want to be loved and respected, then send your best so that people have a general view of who you are. Narratives and opinions can never be policed. Like, you can survey 10 people in Kenya and in Ghana, and they'll say very nice things about Black Americans because the the few Black Americans they met
Exactly.
were
Yeah.
exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
And
a
that
fact.
happens to us too.
I would say I have never had a problem getting along with anybody in any of the African countries I've been to.
Yeah, we don't have a problem as Kenyans or Ghanaians, but I speak for you, Nana. We don't have problem with African Americans or Black Americans or whatever the proper term is. We don't have a problem. The issue, as I said, is the commoditization of our women. And if you understand like African culture, and I said yesterday on Nana's channel, and I said on BMT's,
Mhm.
we are culturally different from Black Americans. It's not a bad thing. We can still come together, but understand there's ways that we think about ourselves. I'll tell you
Mhm.
this, like for me to become a man, I had to go through a rite of passage, right? Because
Yeah, we did
specifically
too. I was
in my
telling you
tribe,
yesterday, right? We
yeah,
did too.
yeah,
Like you
in my
learn how
tribe,
to
Yeah.
be a husband.
if you don't go through this rite of passage and you're shown of how to be a man, one of those things is defending women. And for me, it's huge, right?
Mhm.
It's a big deal. So to be saying it's okay, just let them do whatever. Like some of these, not saying you, but some of these guys say, like, what's your problem? You're jealous. I'm not jealous. I live a life that's fulfilling. And I don't have any care for money. Why? Because I got it. Right? Do I women? No, I'm good. Like I'm living a fulfilling life. I don't have any issues. I don't have any, negative, just ill will, just harboring, looking for people like these. No. But I hate when you have bullies taking advantage of poor people in countries that have weaker laws than they have in the United States. Yeah, I got a big problem with that. I
Mhm.
do.
And I also have a big problem. I probably have a bigger problem with that. And
So yeah,
right, but you guys need to understand. You need to get away from the whole Pastor Bro name, because a lot of you guys are so focused on the Pastor Bro name, like that's supposed to mean something.
is that your brand
It
or something? Did you register it and
Why
trademark it or
you
something?
why
Because
you
you
so held
defend
on
that
to that
name.
name though? Like what does it? It's not
No,
really
what
a
I
good
am
name to behold to
no,
in the
what
first place.
let
It's a
me
bunch of
explain.
immature guys.
Can I explain, please? Why?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now you have so-called pastor bros that go to Africa. You also have pro-blacks and pan-Africanists that hate the pastor bros, but they've been known to go over there and do some things that are just god awful, but it doesn't go viral because they don't have they didn't piss off Black American women. Understand?
Why is
So
this
that's
going
why.
back to Black
So it
American
doesn't.
women? No one cares
Please,
about that, man.
but
From our
I don't
perspective, it
even I
doesn't
don't even
matter
know
to
what a
us.
pro-black is. Like we don't need to learn these things. That's what I'm saying. Like you
but
guys
okay,
think the whole world
okay.
revolves around Americans, and it doesn't.
You don't understand what I'm trying to say. I am trying to get you to understand us better. If you don't want to
But
understand,
that
just
is
say
I
it.
live
Just
here
say
though.
just say you live in Houston. You told me. I understand that, but I'm trying to
So
get y'all
if
to
I'm
understand.
struggling to understand it, how
Jesus.
much the guys that live in Africa, bro, how are they gonna understand
Okay.
you?
Apparently, you don't want to hear it. What I got to say. Is that what you're saying? You don't want to hear
Go
what I
for
got
it,
to
go
say.
for it. I mean, I've been quiet the whole time. Go for it.
Carlos, man,
Well, please.
there's no need to get all hot and bothered about things, man. It's a conversation.
All right. I just don't like being interrupted. All right. All right. There's the pro-blacks, okay? And there are the passport bros. And there's the guys who don't identify as anything. Now, the pro-blacks hate the passport bros because they don't date Black American women. All right. But the pro-blacks went over to Africa and did some horrible things, but it did not go viral because they don't have any dispute with Black
Give us
American
an
women.
example. If you have an
All
example,
right.
tell us of one.
Oh yes, of course. During COVID, a lot of these pro-blacks went to Tanzania during COVID because the other countries were shut down, and they were trying to like settle back in Africa, back to Africa crowd.
Oh,
But
that's like was it Kio Kesho in Kenya? Who's a whole other problem to under herself anyway. That she yeah. Anyways,
well, okay, let me finish. Okay, now this group of Black Americans, okay, they'll say that hey, we're not passport bros, we're the good guys, but they went over there and done some god awful things. All right,
what
because they
things?
could not adjust to the culture. They could not adjust to the culture. A lot of the guys were scamming 304s. They were doing all these things, but none of it went viral because they weren't passport bros. So that's why you need to get off the whole passport bro thing.
No.
Because let me finish, please, because passport bro and pro-black has nothing to do with anything. You have pookies within these two groups that are causing all the problems. And that is the problem. The pookies are causing the problem because they have their degenerates, and unfortunately, passport bros, they have their degenerates. And we cannot control who decides to come along with us. That's the point I'm trying to make. Do you understand that?
No, I don't. But I'll tell you.
Okay, I kind of figured you wouldn't understand that.
Listen, okay.
No. If you don't understand that, then you have a
Carlos,
serious problem.
Listen, Tony.
No, I don't understand it either. Listen, I don't understand it either. And nobody, if we don't understand it, nobody in Africa is going to understand it.
Carlos.
That is the textbook definition of insanity.
I don't understand it.
No, they don't.
I know understand
Bro, they don't. I live in an African
I know
community.
understand it. All the Tanzanians know I understand it.
No,
but you two don't
You are not going to
understand
know
it.
Africa as much as
Maybe it's an IQ issue there, running around that brain.
Bro, I have a master's degree in mathematics. What the fuck
I
are you
have a
talking
master's
about,
degree too.
I have it in math.
IQ?
I'm a mathematician.
IQ, seriously?
I'm a mathematician. I live stream my lifestyle here.
Well, then how can you don't understand this?
You're not smarter than me. I can take an IQ test with you. I can destroy you. You're not smarter than me.
How many languages
Wait,
I will take any
aptitude
aptitude test with you. We can compare transcripts right now.
Well, my IQ is higher than average also, okay?
No.
So you're not better than me, I'm not better than you, okay?
I did math.
What do you do for a living?
I did mathematics. I have a master's in math. You're not going to outsmart me. So don't even go there.
Carlos,
you're starting to talk like a bitch. This is how your women talk. This is how African American women also behave.
Carlos,
you start going after people's intellect and you start calling people gay. Bro, I have a master's degree in mathematics. Everybody on my channel knows that. You're not gonna outsmart me.
How come you didn't understand what I said?
Because it didn't fucking make sense.
Okay, let me explain it again then for you, sir.
No, it doesn't. I've heard you say that on your own channel. That shit don't make sense, bro.
Why doesn't it make sense? Because
everything you said didn't even make sense. Pro-black, what black? People don't know what these groups are. Then they don't have
That's why I was trying to explain it to you, sir.
If you have to go on a whole lecture to explain that, then it's bullshit. That's exactly what I'm telling you. If you travel to a country where there's a continent with 1 billion people, and you expect them to understand what a pro-black and what an FBA is and what this is, are you fucking out of your mind, bro? What are you talking about? Talking about intelligence.
Actually, people have told me about something similar in their countries, and I don't.
Man, the people barely speak English in Tanzania. You're talking about Tanzania, where people barely speak English in Tanzania.
I've met plenty of people who spoke English in Tanzania.
No, they don't speak the best English. That's why I say you don't know Africa like that.
Well,
they were not really.
How come
Tanzanians don't speak English like the Kenyans do?
I know that. I'm aware of that. I've been to both countries, sir.
They are very heavily in Swahili. That's they don't. So that's what I'm saying. You're never gonna know Africa as much as we do, bro.
Let's just agree to disagree, okay? You think
the problem with a lot of you guys is you're traveling abroad, but you're not internationally exposed. It is a big difference. International exposure means I've heard some of y'all call currencies of foreign countries. I've heard some of you guys call currencies of certain countries dollars.
What?
Even after traveling for so long, I've heard people say, "Oh, my dollars go far than their dollars." I've heard all these conversations.
Yeah.
A lot of you are traveling, but you're not travel exposed. You're not internationally exposed. You don't know capital cities of countries. You don't know who colonized who. You don't even learn these languages.
Okay, how many African countries can you name?
Oh my God! Stop
I'm African. Are you kidding me?
How many African?
I can name all of them.
I can name all of them too.
Okay, let's start. Let's put this to test right now.
Okay,
start. You start.
Okay, South Africa, Eswatini, Botswana, Malawi, Namibia, Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo, the Republic of Congo, Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, Somalia, Kenya, South Sudan, Egypt, Libya, Tunisia, Mauritania, Libya. You want to keep going on?
Yeah, keep going. There's some that
Morocco. Let me finish now. Morocco, Senegal, the Gambia, Ghana, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea and Guinea-Bissau, All right, those are all Portuguese.
Carlos.
All right, let me finish. Nigeria, Niger. Let me finish now.
No.
Mali,
I don't know.
Chad. You said I couldn't name any African countries. I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Yeah, you forgot a couple.
All right.
You forgot
so you really think all the countries you've mentioned
Central
as
African
somebody
Republic,
that lives?
Central African Republic.
Right. Yeah.
Let me finish.
Okay. Hurry up.
Right.
You're taking too long.
Sao Tome and Principe.
Yep. Let's go.
Okay.
Yep.
Seychelles Island, Madagascar.
Yep. Come on. Hurry up.
That's most of it. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Nope. You missed one.
I know I missed one because y'all kept interrupting me. Damn.
Yeah. Do you know the one you missed? Nobody.
Mali, Burkina Faso.
That's the one.
I said Mali.
No one gives
I missed
a fuck.
Burkina Faso. I know that
no
one.
one cares.
Western Sahara.
Literally, no one cares.
Western Sahara
Mauritania.
is part of Morocco.
No one cares.
Western Sahara is part of Morocco.
Yeah,
okay,
give
I
or
thought
take.
you was
Mauritania,
educated.
Madagascar.
Okay, how come you didn't know
Mauritius.
Carlos.
Bro, you're not gonna know Africa more than I do, bro.
How come you didn't know Western Sahara was part of Morocco? How come you didn't know?
I know, but it's disputed land. That's what I'm saying.
But you said Western Sahara.
Yeah, but I mentioned it because that is what people add as
55. Part of their country. Everybody would say that. Okay?
Carlos, you're not gonna know Africa as much as I do. Cut it out, bro.
Hey, all right.
You have to learn it. It's part of my experience. Sure. I've been to these countries.
I've been to a lot of those countries too, sir.
Yeah, but you don't know them like I do. You know what? And I fit in properly too when I get there.
Okay,
I speak some of these languages.
Okay.
Hey, you're getting off topic. Sir. You guys are getting off topic.
All right.
You're really getting off topic. You're never gonna know Africa more than an African.
But the point I was making, you always think that Black Americans don't know anything about Africa.
No one said that.
The majority don't.
I know.
Not everybody does.
But you always think
okay.
Okay, I name more countries than most. I can name more countries than a lot of Africans I know.
Stop it. Let's focus on the topic.
Okay. Yes, all Black Americans are bad people, right? That's the topic, right?
No,
all Black Americans are bad people.
It's not.
All Black Americans are bad people. They all support Jay Rillo. They support them. They were cheering them on and all this stuff, right?
Jesus.
Okay.
Can I even talk, bro? At the base of this is a bunch of guys that don't want to grow.
And why? Why?
You're exhausted.
Why? Okay, why Black Americans are judged by their worst people? Why?
What are you talking about?
Nobody is talking about Black Americans.
Oh my God. Dude, you got so many insecurities. No one is attacking you, the Passport Bro movement, which I assume you must have some trademark because you're talking about it like, I don't know. Do you have a Trump stamp on your back or something about the shit? Is that why?
No, sir. No.
Okay, right.
Because no. Just what I am saying is there's a lot of good people who call themselves Passport Bros. And it's kind of dangerous to try to label all Passport Bros as bad people. There's a lot of good people who call themselves Passport Bros. Please don't interrupt me, please.
I got a question. I got a question, though.
I understand you have a question, but please don't interrupt me, please. Can I finish speaking? Then I answer your question?
You got to answer this question first.
No. Please let me finish speaking.
Were you in the Navy, Carlos?
I was in the Army.
No, you were not. You're lying.
Oh, I'm lying?
Yeah, but your adage that can tell you not an Army. You must have been a Navy guy.
Oh God, please! You got issues. You got issues, sir.
You talk
like
you got issues.
Okay, and now I forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. You were in the Navy.
Yeah. I was a squid. Yeah, I was one of those squids. Yeah, I was never in the Navy. Actually, there's nothing wrong with the Navy. You got prejudice toward the Navy anyway.
Listen, it's so easy to get under your skin. Just relax, man.
Dude, I'm just defending my people. That's it. And
your
I'm
people?
saying,
So
I am saying,
J. Rel is your people?
No, J. Rel is definitely not my people. I wish that person would just. I don't even want to say it. I just wish something bad would happen to him.
Okay, so
I hate him that much. I hate that piece of shit that much.
The Navy's your people? Who's
Navy is not my people. The Army is my people.
You're in denial right now, and I need you to just calm down and let's just have
a Kobe, I know you have a superiority complex. I can tell that in your voice. You have a superiority complex. How long have you had the superiority complex?
I've had it for a very long time, and I actually love it.
Well, then you need to seek some therapy for it, man. Because
number one, you guys are never gonna learn.
We probably agree on everything. We probably agree on monitoring these people that come into your country. We both agree on that. So I'm not sure why you have a problem with me.
The problem is that you overtalk everybody. You get mad. You shout. You scream. You don't have to do all of that. To put your point across, you don't.
Okay.
And your obsession with the name.
As soon as I say something, you start interrupting me. And you have a tendency.
It's easy to poke at you when you're talking about people's IQ.
You have a tendency Okay, I name more African countries than most people. You have to
Oh,
admit
stop.
that.
Okay. All right.
All
So
right.
you're the smartest. See,
Just
I knew
because
you
I
were in the
miss,
Navy.
just
Just for
because
the
I
fact
miss,
you did that, you were
just
in the
because
Navy.
I
I
miss
know
one
that.
country,
You're in the Navy.
just because I missed one country because y'all kept interrupting me, y'all say, "Oh, he don't know all the countries." Okay.
Well, you didn't mention
Were
Niger
you an
either.
officer in the Navy?
You didn't
Were you
mention
an
Niger
officer
either.
or
You
you
didn't even
enlisted?
mention that big giant Nigeria. You didn't mention that.
I did mention
You
Nigeria.
did. You
It's
didn't
I
mention
irrelevant,
it.
did
No,
man.
mention
you didn't mention
Nigeria.
it.
Just rewind it back. I said Nigeria, Niger. I clearly said that.
Hey,
You missed it
Okay.
because
hey,
you
KLA is
wasn't
gonna
listening.
replay
I'm taking
this.
control of the
You
channel right
didn't.
now.
You
Please
didn't mention
replay it
Ivory
because I
Coast.
know I
Kobe,
Did
mentioned
you mention
Nigeria and
Ivory
Niger.
Coast?
I
Did
clearly
you mention
said.
Ivory
Carlos,
Coast?
Kobe, I want
Oh
to
no,
take
I didn't mention
control of
Cote
the
d'Ivoire.
channel.
No, I did not mention Cote d'Ivoire. Do you know the other name for it is Cote
KLA, I
Can
d'Ivoire?
I,
think you may
Did
be
you know
I
talking
know
that?
that
loose.
because that's my
Mute him.
neighbor, dude. What are you talking
How?
about?
That's why I'm
Carlos,
letting
Ghana
you know
is
that I'm
my
letting you know
neighboring
that
country is Ivory
Nana,
Coast. So
I'm
why
letting
wouldn't
you
I know
know
it's
that
Cote
I
d'Ivoire?
know. I'm just letting you know that
I
I
want to
know.
take channel. I
Bro,
want
Okay.
what
to
are you
take
The
talking
control
capital
about,
of the
is
man?
channel, please.
Yamoussoukro.
Can I take
The first
control of the
president of
channel,
the Ivory
please?
Coast was Philip Houphouët-Boigny. Did you
Can
know
I
that?
take control of the channel, please?
Okay.
Because I'll drop
And the
someone.
capital city was named after
Please,
him.
please, Carlos. I want to take control of the channel. So,
Right. See, he thinks I don't know anything about Africa, and I was just
no, no,
proving
no,
him
no, no,
wrong.
no. Carlos, a moment. Just a moment, please. So there's a lot of contribution on the chat section. Obviously, it's optimistic. Thank you for coming in. So, yeah, somebody saying October Rise said, please don't take it personal, Carlos. It's an open discussion. We respect everyone's opinion. Yes, actually, I do respect. That's why I allowed you to come in. Auto says, but wait, we had some issues, some stories with British military unaliving Kenyan women in Kenya, and it was a response from the Kenyan community about that. Yes, and I actually did. Auto, I also did a video about that. And the updates at the moment, it's a 12-year case. I think by now it should be around 12. So the gentleman who did this unaliving of this Kenyan woman, the face has been shown to everyone knows who he is, and he's supposed to be extradited for prosecution in Kenya. So yes, this is not about issue about Black Americans. It's about anybody who is a foreigner doing in the areas act in Kenya. So yes, it's not about Black Americans. That is the thing I want to say. So Jabba says the majority of the passport laws came and support the Black manosphere, like O'Shea Duke Jackson. Scope Trust says Carlos needs to learn how to control his temper. Jabba in New York says, preach, Nana. Vav, thank you, foolishness. Expose sex tourism. So yes, the thing is, Scope Trust has found it. I believe he's also American. Scope Trust has been a member of the channel here for a long time. He's saying expose that sex tourism. So what we are trying to actually expose is the sex tourism which has been happening inside Kenya, and not only Kenya. There's also other African countries that are also undergoing through this. And then there's somebody says this is a waste of naming. Okay, you can say that again, Nana. Don't have anything to do with the tea in China. He's looking at his phone. Scope Trust. I don't know, but the topic is about Kenya, not Africa. Yes, true. We're talking about Kenya, but also in
but I want to
relationship.
ask, since he's
Just
right
a
next
little
to
bit, Carlos. Carlos, I gave you about 1 hour to speak, so just let me control the channel for a while. I need to respect the people who are also giving us comments. You know, we have to at least listen to what they're saying. So, Carlos, you know how much many married couples you can name in the name of passport bros. I heard somebody say most Black Americans support passport bro in Kenya. Oh, so
what do they mean by passport bro? First,
you
you
know,
gotta find out.
Carlos, I want you to understand one thing. There is a definition that you actually mentioned it to me, which I understand and I respect it. But also,
but Nana didn't understand it. But Nana didn't understand it.
Just let me explain, please, Carlos. So there's a way you explain to me. I have no problem against it. I actually borrowed the idea. But you see, the thing is, the notion on the ground has a different way of seeing what a passport bro is, and actually it's not even in one-sided. It has very many versions. It depends maybe on the people whom they have seen or they have heard about or the experiences with this. So I will tell you for a fact, and it's not about even passport, bro. There are many, like, okay, let me give you, for example, Carlos, the president of Kenya. Can you imagine? This is the president who was hated 1 year ago. But today, I don't know what happened in between. Now we have almost half of the number of the citizens supporting him, or let's say almost to half of the citizens supporting him, and some against him. You know, it's just the same thing.
I was there just a year ago. Everybody I spoke to hated Ruto.
Yeah,
I find this very shocking.
But today, Carlos, there are some people who are willing to go to die for him, and you're wondering. Last month, I have a friend of mine who was saying, I hate this president, and today I can't even believe his mouth. He's the same person speaking the opposite of what he was saying last year. So trust me, Carlos, it's the same way. I will tell you. You will tell me about what Passport Bro is, and I have no problem you defending Passport Bro, the title. I'm not talking about the characters, the title. But you know that also the title has a different connotation in people's minds as the way they perceive it. So I don't know. I don't know how to take it. I don't know how to take it.
I know the reason for that. I know the reason for that. But I don't know if you want to hear it.
And it has nothing to do with you. And apparently,
I know it has nothing to do with me, but it has something to do with a group of people in America who hate the Passport Bros and pretty much go on this 3-year smear campaign of the name. So anybody who messes up overseas, they call them a Passport Bro. And when the person never even heard of the Passport Bros, who they're calling a Passport Bro, it got so ridiculous and got convoluted. So it really doesn't mean anything anymore. Okay.
And also, I will say this to you, Carlos. If you go to Austin's channel, there are Kenyans who are actually telling Austin that whatever he's doing is also good. These are people who should be siding with us, saying that you are doing the bad thing in Kenya. But there are people who are of Kenyan descent telling them you have promoted Kenyans so heavily. One could be part of ignorance. One could be part, they also enjoy whatever Austin is doing, or they're promoting, they want that to be promoted, maybe out of pain. So I will tell you for a fact that in this world, there are many characters, you know, it doesn't have, it goes up across the board. There are people who support Austin, and they are Kenyans. They believe that Austin is doing a good favor to the country. And then there's some of us who are seeing another side of the angle. We're like, no, you're not actually doing. You're actually bringing a decay of the morality inside the country.
Okay, now there's what they do publicly and what they do privately. Okay, you guys were talking about what they were doing privately that I didn't know about. Okay.
No. They were doing it privately, and they're also doing it publicly. The thing is, they were not gloves off until recently. They have decided to show us who they are. You know, after the JRelo, they have been going on kick, and they have been exposing more of what they were doing in secret.
Oh, okay.
And the government took note of that.
I agree with you 100%. Okay, Austin Holloman is a major problem. All right, and a bigger problem is actually that it's one of the sidekicks. That's Kid Greatness, because he's giving his audience false information on how Kenyan women are and how do they respond to men and all that. They need to they need to stop talking about women altogether. Okay, but I have no control of what they do. All I can do is to denounce what they're doing. That's all I can do. All right.
Yeah.
But I did take offense when Kobe said,
don't take any offense. Don't take any offense. I'll advise you. I'll advise you as somebody who's coming to my channel many times. Don't take offense of anything that is said online. If you're doing right to the society, continue doing right. If you want to be a passport bro and you think that's the right way to do it, just do it, because it is what you believe in. And people perspective should not actually interview with you. Just as I explained to you the issue with my friend and how they perceive the president. So my friendship and that person has never ended, because we have different thinking, analogy. We're still friends until today. He supports the government. I do not support the government. So
right, you never supported the Ruto government, right?
Yeah, but
I never supported Austin Holloman. I never supported Kid Greatness, and I definitely never supported JRelo. So
Yeah.
you understand that, right?
Yeah, you recognize yourself as a passport bro, but not them as a passport bro. Yes, that's what you're trying to say.
They don't identify as passport bros, but people call them passport bros because people associate bad behavior with the passport bro name when it's actually it's all types of people that are passport bros. Okay,
So
some
with
are,
Kenyans,
some are good and some are bad, and then you got some people who don't identify as anything. And
so with the Kenyans,
go
with the
ahead.
Kenyans, with the Kenyans, I'll tell you the thinking perspective of how Kenyans put it. When a white person comes to, or a Caucasian person comes to into the Kenyan country, they will call him Mzungu. You know this. They'll call you
Right?
Mzungu.
Yes. It's
They'll
common
cluster you.
knowledge. Yes. Yeah.
So
Everybody knows that. Everybody who's been to
so
Africa knows that. Yeah.
so either outside either have been referred as passport bros because maybe somebody came with that notion and that stuck. So anybody who's coming as a Black American, even you, with good intention, they'll think of you in a negative way because somebody already did the damage for you. Open the first page in the wrong lane.
Yes,
Yeah.
but okay, but there's a lot of Black Americans over there who are obeying the
A
law,
lot.
acting like normal people.
A lot.
The problem is these content creators. That's basically what the problem is. What they all have in common, they're all content creators, and they've been creating the problem. Anytime I find out about anybody over there, any pookie that's over there acting a damn fool, I'm gonna call the embassy. Okay, I always do. And for somebody to say that, oh, it's not my problem that I said that, I would never ever say that about Jay Rello. It's not my problem because I want to see that bastard go down real bad. I want to see something bad happen to him so damn bad it's ridiculous. All right. So to say that I would say something like that, it's not my problem when it comes to Jay Rello. Knowing how much I hate that piece of shit, he was lying. I would never have said that about Jay Rello. No, he is my problem. I want to see him go down bad. Real bad. Okay. All right. And I'm sorry that piece of shit made it to your country. I can't believe he got into your country, but hopefully the Kenyan government has some type of background check on these people that come into your country. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the country has a treaty between there's a treaty between any crime, even if it will take 10 years and Jerry will be found culpable, trust me, he will have to be extradited back to Kenya.
Well, at least he's not able to come back to Kenya, so that's at least something
No,
good happen.
But if the government decides today to prosecute him, then he has to be extradited to Kenya, just the same way as somebody from British Army, like a Kenyan woman, he is supposed to be extradited to Kenyan court.
Okay, that's good news. That's good news because I want to see something. I want to see him brought to justice. I can't stand that piece of shit. Never mind.
Yeah. So with the Kenyan law system, it could be a little bit slower than the American, but it's actually effective. The things that people don't know, the law is very effective, and it actually could go bad, and it's better even to be prosecuted by the law than being prosecuted by the people. Trust me, if you have been to Kenya and you know what Kenya is all about, public prosecution is the worst thing you can ever go through.
Okay, all right.
Because it could go south. It could go south. Yeah.
Okay, mute this Carlos. No, why would he mute me? What did I do? Did
Carlos,
I promote?
you don't even go there. I've not muted you, so just don't concentrate on that, please.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make it clear.
So I'll ask you one question because you're in. Why do you think, as a passport bro, why do you think this matter concerns you? While the way you're explaining, it seems to be you're an upright gentleman. You doing good for your society back in America, and you wish the best for Kenya. So why are you getting mad about this situation?
Well, number one, I don't identify as a passport bro. Okay, but a lot of my friends do, and they're good people. A lot of my friends do, and they're good people. Yes, Nana. Yes. See, if you would listen to what someone's saying, you would have known that. You have kept interrupting me.
You're a passport bro.
I'm responding. Okay. Well, I used to identify as a passport bro, but since the name has been sold so much by misinformation and people come up with their own definition of it, I think it's best not to identify as it. And I tell people it's best not to identify that because everybody has their own little definition of it. And some of it's derogatory, and they're going to prejudge you based on that name, which you pretty much admitted that they're going to do. So don't even identify as anything. That's what we've been saying, telling our audience. Don't identify as anything. Just go there and act like a damn normal person, obey the law, respect the country, the culture, the people, and don't participate in anything illegal or immoral, and you're fine. Okay?
I got a question for you, Carlos.
No, I don't want to. I don't want any
why
questions
you mad
from
at
you.
me? Just a question. It's a conversation. It's a conversation.
Because when
was
on
your
the other
MOS in the
live
Army?
stream, you was very disrespectful toward me.
What was your MOS
When you
in the
was
Army?
when I was on that other live stream, you were very disrespectful toward
What
me.
was your MOS in the Army? Just a simple question.
42 Bravo.
Oh yeah, you were a dummy. That's okay. All right.
I was a dummy. I was personal officer, dude, and I was also supply officer. What was you?
I'm kidding.
I mean, wait, you're so damn disrespectful. That's why I don't like you.
It's okay. You don't
So,
have to.
bro, you're
I
just
mean, that's why
messing
you're
with you,
so
bro.
damn disrespectful. Am I disrespectful to anybody? No. I stand up for myself.
Carlos, you take things so personally, man. It's easy to mess with you.
All right.
It's
well,
okay.
you know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess it's easy to mess with me. Yeah, I guess so, according to you. Mr. Thanos.
You don't have to take it so personal.
Okay. Excuse me?
You don't have to take it so personal. It's okay.
What did you say, niggas?
What I said, you don't have to take it so personal. I didn't say niggas.
Okay. No, I'm not. I really don't take anything personal. I just want to set the record straight. And it's hard to get on a platform and set the record straight. And it's kind of frustrating. I try to explain something.
You raise your voice a bunch of times, and we tell you it's okay. You don't have to argue.
And you just interrupt me again.
Okay.
Okay. And I tried to explain something. And to my shock, Nana didn't even know what I was talking about. I don't want to hear about that because that's not my culture. Well, we got to understand each other's culture because I go out of my way to learn Ghanaian culture. And when I was in Kumasi and Accra, I learned the culture and I respected the people. So how come you can't learn my culture? Nana? Hello?
Hey, if you want to know,
on
my channel.
Also, you mentioned that
real quick, let me respond.
Okay, how much you know about your neighbor, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast? How much you know about them?
Bro, I literally grew up in Ghana.
Okay, do you support Felix Houphouët-Boigny's approach to Yamoussoukro?
Did you just read that on ChatGPT?
No, I did not.
Well, I know Yamoussoukro. Well, you call it Yamoussoukro, it's Yamoussoukro, which is connected to
I mispronounced it. I'm sorry.
I know this place, bro. That's my neighboring country. I've been good. My dad ran a hotel chain in Abidjan for like 20 years. So as a child, I was always going to Cote d'Ivoire.
Carlos,
don't test my African.
Just answer the question. Do you agree with Felix Houphouët-Boigny's approach to Yamoussoukro? How come it was a failed city, unlike the new city Abuja in Nigeria?
I know Abidjan and I know Yamoussoukro, and I know that Yamoussoukro was their first capital, and then Abidjan became their later capital, and that is very common with a lot of Africa, but Nigeria's Lagos and Abuja too, like capital cities change all the time.
I found it was
Dar es Salaam, right? So
okay, all right. I just wondered if you knew about that.
I mean, I did learn. You know, like I said, I've been going to Abidjan since I was a child, bro. I spoke French for about 15 years of my life. Okay. And I still know a little bit of it. You know,
I'm just messing with you.
I speak many languages, bro.
I'm just messing with you.
On my channel, I just want you to know this. On my channel, in Russian, and I spoke Russian. I have content I'm speaking Ukrainian. I have content obviously speaking Spanish. I'm an international traveler, bro. I've been traveling probably for the last 28, 29 years. I've been around a lot. But just to say, like you're saying, I just posted a video of me in 2002. A lot of people don't know this. So in 2002 and in 2003, I was a hip hop DJ. I DJed all over Europe in college. And I have photos of me wearing Sixers jerseys in the early 2000s. You can Photoshop this shit. So all of us had some type of Black American influence growing up. And sometimes we make these debates about us versus them, and this person doesn't like this person, and this doesn't like this. And I was like, I got tired of talking about this.
Mhm.
Africans don't really care, bro.
Well,
We don't have a race sensitive society. We're all black. So we are not always thinking of what the other person thinks of us on the
okay.
outside.
All right. Now
And
I
for
have
some
not
reason,
mentioned
I
race.
can't explain that to Americans. I've been
Yeah.
trying for years explain that to Americans. Like, fellas, we don't care. We are on this platform having a conversation with a
Okay.
black guy from America, a Kenyan
Well,
guy that lives in America, a Kenyan guy that lives in Europe, and we call each other brothers. We don't care. You the only difference here is it's either you buy it or you don't buy it. And I can't make you believe it. I can't
okay.
force you to accept that. It's maybe over the
Okay.
years with your experiences, you will have personal relationships, and then you decide like, hey, these guys don't hate us. But one thing I'll tell you is, and Kobe brought this up on my stream yesterday, we're just naturally very conservative people. Like Black Africans are very conservative. We're really, really like down to we
Yeah.
align with maybe if you take out racism, we will be marching with the KKK if you put it that way. Just hypothetically, in terms of traditional values, family, Christianity, or traditional religions, or whatever it is, uh, that is just what we are.
Okay. That was
We are
very
just
cringe.
right.
That was very cringe-worthy what you said.
Yeah,
The
if you take the
KK.
racism out, yeah, if you take the racism out, it's just a bunch of people that love their
Uh,
societies, their
uh,
traditions, their communities,
uh,
but they don't do the evil part of it. They're not
uh,
evil
uh,
people, you know?
a lot of the KK is of I'm not sure if I can say this, but a trash of the YT community. So I don't know about that. They don't
No,
have
I'm just
traditional
saying
values.
at the base of I no, I'm just saying like what they had in the Christian South during I'm in this case American history here.
Well,
It all starts from some type of a religion or some traditional cultism, right?
right.
And then it extends into the hate part. I bring
Oh,
this
okay.
up just as an analogy. I'm not comparing us to them. I'm just saying that we're just naturally conservative. We're traditionally conservative. We're not liberal. We don't like the LG whatever things. I don't want to mess up this
Mm-hmm.
guy's algorithm. We don't like those things, right? Does that
Okay.
mean we don't? We have some, of course we have some there, but it's not part of us. So
Mm.
there's always going to be pushback from the African continent when people
Hello.
the whole difference that we are having, or this conversation that we are having, is just about Punani, bro. What is
Okay.
causing all this division is about Punani. I don't want to, again, I don't want to mess up his algorithm. It's about
Um,
the female sexual organ.
oh,
This is
okay. That's
what
what you're
is
talking
driving.
about.
Yeah. This is vagina talk, is all it is. Vagina is what is
But
driving the trips.
okay.
Vagina is what is driving these divisions. It's just a vagina, bro. The guys that have vagina locally, they don't care about traveling abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Some people
Right,
just have
but
a natural preference of women abroad. And I give that. There are people that, even if the women here are easy and they're dateable, they still want a foreign woman. And I give it to them. People have preferences, and nobody is pushing back on that. But you got to
okay.
separate that from sex tourism. Sex tourism is having a preconceived intention to travel to a foreign country for sex.
Mm-hmm.
If at any
Right.
point in your
Exactly.
trip, sex is on your checklist, you're a sex tourist.
Okay. What if a grown man goes to a certain country?
And if a
Okay, and
person, bro, is traveling abroad to date, and the motivation
what's
to
your
travel
Jesus?
to Cote d'Ivoire is to sleep with a woman, that is a sex tourist, is what I'm saying. Then we
Oh,
can
oh,
beat
oh,
around the definitions all we want, but the bottom line is the same. And then you're saying, oh, we're dumb because we don't understand what you're saying. And I'll wrap this up and you can take it off. The the fact that you can pick and choose who is a member and who is not a member, there's no membership ID, there's no
eh,
formal registered organization. It's just based on identification. It's like the
it,
whole woke thing that just
yeah.
happened in America,
Uh,
where grown ass men with hairy balls are saying they're women. It's the same concept. Some will bite, some will not bite. And in this case, a lot of Africans are gonna say anybody that travels to the country that is not safari first, But vagina first is a passport bro, hence a sex tourist. Is all I'm saying.
Okay. Now you do know that. Okay, I'm speaking to the person in the chat. They keep mentioning hip hop culture. All right. Now I know hip hop culture has become like a big thing in Black American culture, but not everybody follows that. Okay, I'm just gonna respond to that. Right. We all have our differences, and this is how I see it. Okay. Grown men, if they travel and they just happen to meet someone, and just because it just happened to happen doesn't mean they're a SMEX tourist. It just happened. Okay. But someone who goes there for the intent purpose of that, like Jay Rello did, then yes, I agree. So we're in agreement.
I got one more question for you. Very simple question. Let me put it this way. Do passport bros buy prostitutes? Do passport bros go to brothels?
Okay, I cannot speak for all the passport bros. The people that I know don't do that. The passport bros I know don't do that. That's why
So
you
when you
can't.
trick,
That's why.
when you trick,
Oh
you're not
God,
a
please
passport
let
bro,
me
right?
let me
I'm just
respond.
asking you the question. When
Right.
you trick,
Okay.
you're not a passport bro, right?
Right. Okay. What I'm saying is, that's why you cannot put a negative label on anyone who calls himself a passport bro. All right. There's some good people, but of course there's some bad apples, just like any group of people. And that's all I was saying, but you didn't understand what I was saying. Maybe I was making it a little bit too complicated. I don't know.
Carlos, the thing is, we actually understood what you were saying, but it's just it doesn't make sense from the general perspective because the passport bro thing, again, going back to the Africa or Kenya thing, it's one and the same. Someone misbehaves and they're commercializing it and commoditizing our women is the problem,
Okay, I
right?
agree. I agree.
And so I think trying to die in the hill of, passport bros and that's not, they're not that, they're not this. We don't care. The average Kenyan does not care. It's again, what
Well,
are
I
they
know you
doing
don't
to our
care.
women? But hear me, it's just not me. But I'm being serious now. It's generally Africans and Kenyans don't care, passport bro or not. What are they doing to our women?
Right. And you
That's the
also need,
problem.
you also what are Nigerians doing to your women? What are the Europeans doing to your women?
Again, if you
What
hear the
are
call,
the
if you see the
Chinese and the
video,
Indians?
if you
And
see the
you try
video,
to
it
say,
doesn't.
well, they're different because they've integrated into our culture and Black Americans have not. It's not that many Black Americans there to integrate into your culture. So that
Listen,
wasn't even a
if
fair
you,
comparison.
I will
I'm not
say
sure why you
again,
even said that.
why are you
That's
raising your voice? Why are you raising your
because
voice, Carlos?
I finally got to respond to that BS that you said earlier when I was listening to
You
you in
don't
the
have to
chat.
raise your voice. We're having a
Well, I'm sorry.
conversation.
I'm sorry. I'm using my speaker now. I'm not used to using the speaker. I'm used to talking
No, you
loud.
raise your voice all the time. Please
I am
stop when you're
sorry. I
talking
am
to me.
sorry. I know you're a
I'm
little
not your
sensitive.
child. I'll say that again.
I'm not. I know you're a little sensitive, and I know you want gonna get
Okay,
upset, but I am
sure.
sorry.
That's fine.
I
It
am
doesn't hurt
awfully
me.
sorry,
Whatever. I
young
don't care.
man. I am awfully sorry. And you're in the reserves now.
No,
What you say? I thought you said you were in the reserves. What are you doing right now?
I never said I was in the reserves. Don't worry about what I do
Okay.
for a living.
Okay.
That does
All
not
right.
have any
You
play
worry
into
about
it.
what I do for a living. I'm pretty sure you worry about what I do for a living, don't you?
Okay. Listen,
All
we're
right.
talking
All right,
about
Kobe
this simple
Bryant.
fact. Hey, okay.
All right. I know you think you're better than me for some strange, bizarre
You know
reason.
what? I am better than you. I know I am.
Yeah, in your mind, yes. Yes.
I
Thought
am.
I knew
Because you're
you
trying
was
to have a
just
conversation, you don't want to
yeah,
listen, and you keep
dude, you
raising
guys
your
have been
voice
interrupting
over and
me like
over.
several times. You
You
interrupt me
won't bring
several
anybody in
times.
your panels, and if you do, they're just an echo chamber of repeating what you say like parrots. You never bring
Dude, you
anybody
are more than
a
welcome to come on my
contrarian attitude.
platform, sir. You're more
Mhm,
than welcome to come on my
mhm.
platform. I never said you couldn't come on my platform. When did
Like,
I ever say you couldn't come on my platform?
let's focus on this aspect. Okay.
Okay,
Let's
well,
just focus on this.
let me ask you this question. When did I say you could not come on my platform? When did I ever say this?
Carlos, let's focus on this. Stop diverting the situation.
But you said something that was incorrect. And you have to admit that you were wrong before we can move on, sir. Admit that you were wrong. When did I ever say that you couldn't come on my platform and speak? When did I ever say that? Hello? I did not. Now we
Okay.
can move on.
Enough. Yeah, go ahead. You happy you had the last word? Good. Good.
Go on, go on.
Let's focus on the topic here,
Anyway,
right?
so at the base
Yes.
of all
It
of
doesn't matter.
this is just a bunch of immature men. And maybe Kobe will attest to this. A lot of Africans and African cultures, there's something called a rite of passage for a man. You're taught
Yeah.
how to lead. You're taught how
Yeah.
to behave amongst your peers. You're taught how to be a good man. You're taught how to defend your territory, how to defend your community. You're taught how to be a great husband. These are learned experiences. If it doesn't come through a cultural experience, it should come through maybe your parents being married and watching them and learning their ways or what they taught you. It can go through maybe an institution or it can be self taught. You can learn how to be a good partner by learning, reading the right literature. People learn. Nobody is born knowing everything. Everything is learned, but you got to pick the path that I would say works. These guys are picking the path of least resistance. They're choosing
Yeah.
to
That's true.
go to places that really sex is easily accessible. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It's not that there are no. I know the women here maybe more generally will suck, and I'm not generalizing, but you can't tell me that there are no good women here. There are good women here. It's
Okay, are
not a
you
lot
married?
of them, but
Are you married to one of them there?
I am married to an African. I married one of my own
How come you didn't marry a woman there since there's so many good women in the United
because
States?
I personally believe that your women are created for you. American
Mm,
women are created for Americans.
Carlos, are you saying there's no good women in
God,
America?
God
I
is
mean, are
not
you saying, are you
sending
generalizing?
God is not sending American women to us
That's
in
true.
Africa. Now, if you guys you're allowed to do your
well,
expeditions and
uh,
try
uh,
out different cultures, but if humans don't travel or migrate and they stay in their localities,
mhm.
your women are made for you.
Okay,
Then
according to my DNA, I am Nigerian and Ghanaian. So
that's okay. Welcome.
I should not find a wife in Ghana or Nigeria because I was born in
Who
America. Is that what
said
you're
that?
saying?
Who said that? No one said that.
I am no,
Nobody's saying that.
I didn't say nobody said that. I'm asking him a question. You know what a question is,
No,
Kobe?
no, nobody's
Okay,
saying that.
you
But you'll
said
be more culturally aligned.
oh,
You'll
Stop
be
being
more culturally
condescending. No need
aligned
for that.
marrying a woman of your localities.
it
There's
depends.
always a learning curve when you cross
It
cultures.
well, okay, I have no
And that
problem.
is why a lot of these cross-cultural marriages don't work. There's a lot of statistics to back it. A lot of them don't work.
Well,
That is
yeah,
why
I
that
agree. I
dude,
agree.
we
I
don't know
agree.
what happened with that guy and the lady that ran off from Kenya, and people have their own opinions about it. It's
It
always a lot easier. It's a lot easier for me to be with a Kenyan chick, a Ghanaian chick, a Zimbabwean chick, than it is for me to be with a Becky, for example.
oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought you was from Ghana.
Yeah, I'm from Ghana, but I'm from Africa, is what I'm saying.
But you said Zimbabwe. That's in southern Africa.
He's
Yes,
generalizing. He's
Why would you
referring to
marry
his
I'm
somebody in
African
just
southern
woman.
I'm
Africa?
generalizing. That's what I'm saying. I'm generalizing. I'm just telling you that it's a lot easier
We got to
to
break it down.
map
Barney style for this
and
dude.
then let me break it down again. A
Dude,
lot of these countries that I just mentioned,
I'm just messing with you. I'm
I'm
just
giving
messing
you
with
the
you.
gem here though. A lot of these countries that I mentioned also have something in common called the Commonwealth. They are British colonies. They
Mm-hmm.
have the same education systems. They have the same exams sometimes. There is sometimes cross-border tribes, certain tribes cross over to certain places. And there's usually a joint cultural heritage amongst all these other countries, even if, remember, the colonialists drew these borders. So a
Yes.
lot of
No.
these were
Yeah.
just
No
little
shit.
tribes. There was
Yeah.
only three of them. There was Ghana, Mali, and Songhai.
Mm-hmm.
And it disintegrated into what the colonialists divided. So even if there's a learning curve for me to marry a Kenyan woman, there's always something unique, jointly common with us being Africans. That there's a lot of things that we can sit down and talk about, and sometimes even learning the languages. It's a lot easier for a Ghanaian to learn Swahili than it is for an American to learn it. A lot of these Bantu languages have certain words in common, and they make learning languages a lot easier. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Mm,
I believe it doesn't, I'm not being xenophobic. You can marry any woman you want from anywhere. You can marry a Polish chick.
right.
I used to date a Russian some years back, right? So
Right, but
you can do all the cross-country things, but you can't run away from the fact that the women of America, and in this case, if we're talking more like the Black community, they are made for Black men in America. These are your women.
Okay, can I respond to that, please?
And it's up to y'all to get them to align with you. You can't just run away from it.
Okay, sir. There are laws in this country, and you know U.S. is matriarchal, or the laws benefit the women. It's hard to put anyone in line. It's not. We're not in an African country where you have control over everything. All right. So number one, people have criticized Black American men for going to other countries, mostly Latin countries. They accuse us of being colorist. But then the ones like me who go to Africa, then they get mad. Well, why are you going to Africa? You can still come to America. I think people need to just stay out of my life and out of other people's lives and mind their own damn business. Okay. If I don't want to date an American woman, Kobe has to live with it. Nana has to live with it.
No one cares. Like literally, no one cares if you do.
You shouldn't care, because if you did care, I would say you need some psychiatric treatment if you care.
Yeah, I don't.
But there are a lot of people who do care.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But they will care if you maltreat them. They will care
exactly
if you come there and like those Dubai examples where they are shitting on women. Sorry for my English here. Then you're gonna have people again. Like I said, we go through a rites of passage. It is our obligation to protect our women.
I agree.
And most Africans will go to war to protect these women. They will.
Right. And I protect the women in my life, the African women that I know. I protect all of
them. If you're saying this guy is a P bro, this guy isn't, this guy is this guy isn't. These people that live on the continent they are not obligated to learn who a passport bro and who isn't. It's not their responsibility.
That's not
they
what I'm
only
talking
care
about.
If you're coming in as a foreigner.
That's not what I'm talking about. I said you guys need to lay off the term passport bro like it's supposed to mean something. Okay. That's all I'm saying. I'm suggesting that you lay off the name passport bro, because any type of person can call themselves a passport bro. That's all I'm talking about. And then
I think the right approach.
And then you're gonna bring other Africans into it, like I'm talking to them. I'm just talking to you two people. That's it.
No, the best approach.
I understand that most Africans don't care, and they don't understand and don't care. I get that. All right, but I was talking about you guys. All right.
The best approach here, Carlos.
Here's the issue, right? So, Carlos, real quick, now if I may say something, so about the whole passport bro thing. Right now, as we speak. Big Boss Real Talk, as he calls himself, is traveling to South Africa, and I think later he's going to be going to Kenya. He calls himself a passport bro, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I'm aware of that. Yes.
Yeah. So the term for why it's being used, in my opinion, right? Like you're seeing like the activist, is because it's what the behaviors are, and they're identified by people who've done those things. Austin, as we speak, either still has one or had a passport bro tattoo on him. I don't know whether it's on his arm or his leg, or one of the two.
You guys not gonna let that go.
No, but hear me. But here's the thing. But I'm just telling you, for local context, it's this person did XYZ and they had that tattoo on him. This guy's coming and he's doing 1, 2, 3. So why would I not correlate that they're part of some movement, whether it's disjointed or together? There's some passport bro leader or whatever. It's one and the same, right?
Okay, just like all Kenyans are the same, right?
I'm just giving you an example, and you could say all Kenyans are the same.
And I'm just giving you an example. I'm just giving you an example. All Kenyans are all Kenyans are the same.
Yes, we are, and I'm okay with that.
No, I've been to Kenya.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Not all Kenyans are the same. I've been to Kenya numerous times.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
You got the elite, you got the bums, you got the people in between, the hardworking people.
It does not matter.
You got all kinds of people in Kenya. So that was a stupid statement for you to make. Say all Kenyans were the same.
I don't care.
Why would you say all Kenyans are the same?
I don't care because
that's so stupid. You know how many tribes are in Kenya? Let me look it up.
How the fuck are you gonna tell me?
Let me look at it. No, I mean, apparently you say all Kenyans are the same. I know the Lula, I know the Kikuyu, I know the Kamba. Okay. How many? Let me look it up. How many tribes
You don't even know, and you're trying to tell me about my people, my tribes.
I'm not.
How you gonna
No,
tell
no.
me?
This is something you should know. I'm a foreigner. I'm
Yeah,
looking
go
it up.
ahead.
How many tribes in Kenya? Because you the one who said all Kenyans are the same.
Can we
42.
just stick to the
Dude,
44 actually?
why would you
44.
say? Why would you say that
44
all Kenyans are the
official
same
tribes.
when there's 42
44
tribes in
tribes.
your country? Why would you say that?
I'm
Answer the question, Kobe.
assuming you
Answer
never
the
got
call.
promoted
Why would
past
you say
lieutenant.
all Kenyans
You
are the
are
same?
just an absolute.
Why would you say all Kenyans are the same?
I
Okay,
didn't say
because you're
that.
losing.
You said it.
You're getting
I
mad
said I
because
don't
you're
care.
losing the argument. Why
It
would you say
doesn't
all
matter.
Kenyans are the same
Okay,
when there's
I lost the
42 different
argument. Next
tribes
topic.
in Kenya? So you're saying that all the tribes are the same? Are you saying that? Y'all speak the same language? I know y'all speak Swahili, but there's a local language that all of them speak. I know the Kamba language and the Kikuyu language and all
You
sorts of
don't know
languages
shit
in
about
Kenya.
Kenya. You think you know because
I didn't
you
say.
visited.
I don't know.
That doesn't
I don't
matter.
know
care.
shit about Kenya. I know a little
Yeah,
bit
you
about
don't.
it. I'm not an
No,
expert, but I
okay.
know a little bit.
I don't care.
I don't claim to be
It
an
doesn't
expert,
matter.
but I
I
do
still
know a
sleep
little
well
bit.
at night.
Okay, and yeah, and you said that all Kenyans were the same, which is bullshit.
Just shut the
They're
fuck
not
up. No
because
one
you got
cares.
42 tribes. So how you all are the same?
44 official tribes, actually.
Okay, 44. Let me look it up again.
Official
44.
tribes.
40,
Is
it
that the
says
other tribes?
Kenya
You
has
didn't know that,
around
did you?
42 recognized indigenous tribes, a number that serves as a strong social and cultural reference
Oh
point.
my God.
Through the exact total number
You
of
can
ethnic
look up
groups can
stuff
be
on
varied.
the internet.
No. You
All
accused me of looking up something before, but now I'm looking up something, and I want to tell you this. Okay,
Kaylee,
I'm
shut
allowed
this
to.
motherfucker down.
No, you don't call me.
He just
See,
yammers.
that's why people don't
You
like
are a
you
motherfucker.
because
You just shut the fuck up.
you just throw insults. When you lose an argument, you start throwing insults.
I'm not.
I noticed
There's
that
no
about
argument. You're just
Kobe
focused on
Bryant, I
something
know
that just
you
doesn't
like.
matter.
I know you don't like being wrong. I know you see of yourself as high and mighty and greater than
I am
everybody
actually,
else.
and I actually do have a
Yeah,
high
you
IQ
actually,
than you
in
do.
your mind, yes, in your
Okay.
delusional mind, yes, you do think you're better than
Right.
everybody
Okay.
else because you clearly said that all Kenyans were the same.
I didn't say that. You did.
Yes, you did. No, yes, you did. I asked you, is all Kenyans are the same? Just like all Kenyans are not the same.
And you know, I see
all
why your
Pastor bros
channel
are not
doesn't
the
get
same. I assure
beyond the
you of that, sir.
1,000 subscribers you have. You're just so annoying, absolutely annoying.
Yeah, because I have a new channel here, sir, and
Right, you are annoying as fuck.
Well,
So,
yeah, because
Carlos,
you
let me
lost the
ask you
argument.
this.
That's
Let me
why
ask you this,
Stop.
though.
you lost
Just
our
stop.
Let me
argument,
ask you
sir.
this.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
there's a big immigrant population in America, right? If you don't want to
Dummy.
date American women, what is stopping these bros from dating immigrant women that already live here in the U.S.?
The divorce laws. Thanks for finally asking me that question. The divorce laws in here favor the women heavily. You live in the United States.
But
You should
why
know
are
this.
you worried about a divorce law? Listen, I'm married. I don't have a prenup.
Okay, then
I'm not worried.
does your
I'm
wife
not
make more than
worried
you?
about
Does your wife make more than you?
my wife is a lawyer. My wife is a lawyer.
Okay, your
She
wife
makes
makes more.
roughly about right now. It depends what year it is. Right now, if straight salary, no side hustles. So because I top it off with the side hustles. Without the side hustles, salary for salary, she makes about $50,000 more than I do.
Okay,
But I also make a lot of money.
But then
I'm not
I
bragging,
understand
but
you
I
make a
make
lot of money, but your wife makes more. That's why you're safe. Okay, so you're good. But
Well,
most guys,
no,
men.
for most people, when your wife make more, it's actually a problem
Okay, I didn't know that. I'm
because
sorry.
they can dominate you if they do make a lot of money.
Well, I'm talking about in divorce.
And that is
Okay.
why I pick up these side hustles. Like I pick up these side hustles to YouTube and all these other things that I do.
Okay.
But our focus of our relationship is not about money.
Okay.
This is the difference between Western relationships and African relationships. Let me just teach you a little thing here.
Okay, but see,
our focus is our children and our children's futures. That is why me and my wife don't fight about money.
Okay, good.
We don't even care about money. We care about providing the best that we can for our children. That is the first order of business for us.
Okay.
In the West, everything is about money. And this is why these relationships fail.
Okay, now
you have to seek out women that don't really care about money to the extent of living, like people that really have a genuine respect for the Almighty God. And this is why I'm saying that a lot of 99% of these guys are going to fail. Even if you found a Western woman, a foreign woman, even when you've traveled abroad, even when you've brought her here or you've moved overseas, 99% of these guys will drop off due to one, the selection process, and two, not deeply understanding culturally how these societies function. They don't understand it.
Mm.
This is a sugar rush. They are
Okay.
excited by the vagina. That's it.
I
They
don't think
don't
that.
And
have
these
no
men
I
no.
are
don't think
not
they're.
working on
Can I respond to
themselves
that?
individually.
Okay, can I respond to what you said before Thanos interrupt me again? Okay, now the court system benefits the women greatly, so it would be in your best interest to marry someone from another country. All right, so they won't be able to take half of your stuff. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows that the divorce laws benefit the women. Okay, that's why divorce is so high, because it's pretty much encouraged because of the divorce laws.
Okay.
And I know of several. Okay, I know of several Ethiopians that go back to their home country to marry because the women are more traditional. All right, they don't want to date the Ethiopian Americans; they want to date the Ethiopians in the
Real
home
quick,
country.
Carlos, it's part
Right.
of what you're saying, real quick, so you can continue. Are you gonna move to Ethiopia or is she gonna move here?
Okay, within a year, a little over a year, I'll be moving to Africa. All right, but I haven't decided on which country I'm going to live in, and I don't even want to say it because
Are you
somehow
afraid?
people got preconceived notions about Black Americans and that we're all the
Oh my
same and all
God, get
that.
off of that, man.
Nobody
Yeah,
cares.
get
Dude,
off of that, man.
you are married to a woman, everybody's gonna respect you. You are
Okay,
really
good.
confusing. If I was you, a guy that has already selected a woman, have a relationship, I will have nothing to do with the term passport, bro. I will not even entertain them. You are already moved, you've matured into the next phase of what it means to be a man. You are going to start a
Well.
relationship that
Okay.
leads to, that is a marriage that will
Mhm.
lead to raising children and instilling
Well,
certain values in your children. You have no
already,
business with a bunch of 25-year-olds
dude.
running dick loose all over the
Dude,
continent. You don't, you are
dude,
very
dude,
different from them.
dude. I do not have any association with Austin Hallman or any of his cohorts. I don't like any of them. They've been an embarrassment, and I don't know how many times I gotta say it. I don't like them. I don't want to associate with them. And the people that I associate with are people around my age who are mature. They have families. I've been married 11 years. But I support the Pastor Bro movement because the dating culture in America is toxic, and the divorce laws heavily favor the women. And guys can lose their kids and all this other stuff. And why should anybody have to deal with that? Plus, we live in a culture, at least in Black America, where bad boys are heavily favored as the main type of man for the women to go for. And you don't know
Let me
about the
make you
dual
happy
straight.
real quick,
Oh
Carlos. Let
God,
me make
please!
you happy. Let me make you happy. Let me make you happy real quick. I
Go
agree
ahead.
with you. I want these guys to travel abroad and to date abroad. I don't want them to go into brothels. I don't want them to pick up hookers. As long as they're going there with the intention to date and potentially avoid the problems here, we're in alignment. But if you're going over there and you're just dick shopping or vagina shopping, stop one location to the next, you're in Thailand today, you're in Africa next week, you're in Dominican Republic the following week,
Mm-hmm.
then
Right.
you
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
also creating the same problems that you're running away from. You're putting body
Well.
counts in these
See.
women,
Yeah.
and
And
nobody's gonna marry those women either.
well, see, that's why I said I think we made a mistake by encouraging these young guys to travel, because we didn't know that it was going to be such a big problem with the lowest common denominator getting so popular and trying to represent something and that we do not represent. Okay, don't put your name on us because you just happen to be Black American. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the fact that how they were acting, how they were carrying on, how they was airing out all their personal business and trying to represent us. I didn't like it, and that's why I have a problem with those individuals. I don't associate with them. I never have. They don't like me, and I don't like them. All right, that's just how it is. But all I was saying basically was, don't assume everybody is a bad person because they call themselves a passport bro. That's all. That's the only thing I was really saying. Okay, maybe I should have been more clear and more simple in saying it. So, hey, sorry about that. Thanos, you got any questions for me?
No, not at all. We appreciate you for coming
All
on.
right. I still find it strange that you thought all Kenyans were the same. How can you say anybody in the country is all the same? Is everybody in the United States is the same? Why would you say that?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, I know you don't care. All right, okay, you guys take care. Hey, follow me on my channel. All right, and hopefully
Absolutely not.
something bad. I ain't talking about you. Not talking to you because you're too afraid to come on my panel because you're gonna get a verbal whipping. That's why. All right, guys, take care, man. Take care. We all against the J Rello and the Kid Greatness Gang. All those clowns. We all against them, so we agree on something. Okay,
See you later,
and
Papa, bro.
not everybody who calls himself a pastor, bro, is just like J Rello in the gang.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make that point. Okay, there's
Right,
good people.
Go.
And
Just go.
there's
Just go.
some
Just
bad
go.
people, unfortunately, and we
Just
have
go.
been
Yep.
denouncing those bad people for the
hmm
past 3 years well, actually longer than that. But anyway, all right, take care,
Bye.
people.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
out.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I was almost taking the last shot. We closed the video, but okay.
Listen, don't ever let that guy back on. I swear to God, no constructive conversation could be had.
Yeah, we went off track, and I was like, I was better
Yeah.
suggest we end the live because we are off track.
But
That
I
is
think,
the
yeah. Go ahead.
you got into the preview of how emotionally charged the Western man is. This is not just a black thing. This is just how emotional Western men get.
Yeah.
They are feminine. They are led by their moms. They are raised by moms, and those traits transfer over, which is why their women have become so masculine. And now instead of them fighting it and pushing for those women to comply, they are using the easiest path. The easiest path is to go to a developing country and get women to be on their program. Now, I don't have a problem if you choose the easiest path. That's okay. But even within the easiest path, they are still looking for even more easy. So they're not going to Nairobi to the nice hotels to talk to like the affluent Kenyans.
No,
They are going
they
to the
can't.
brothels.
They can't, right? And to your point, the issue is that going to a place, let's say like Kenya or Ghana or any other country in the developing world, and assuming that, oh, these women are compliant, it's as if they don't go online and they don't go on, different social media platforms. It's crazy because they hear your accent, they see you, they're like, okay, I already know what I need to do. Because even right now, if you were to speak about, like, let's say North Korea, what people are doing to be able to get North Koreans to stand up to the government is they're sending like these balloons that have like music and pictures of the outside world. And these little packets that may seem innocuous, but it's exposing North Koreans to the rest of the world. And the North Korean government, as we speak right now, is struggling to try and keep that, in house because it's such a hermit kingdom. No country around the world, if these passport bros are traveling to, is just gonna think, oh, I'm gonna be subservient for your purposes, and you can use and abuse me, and it stays there. So that guy who got quote unquote finessed by that Kenyan girl, he got what he deserved. I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, and also they are looking for something that doesn't even exist nowadays anywhere in the world. They are looking for traditional women that will shut up, traditional women that will stay home and do become homemakers. Uh,
Yeah,
Women
like
are
again,
going to school in Africa more than men right now. We have more women
exactly.
in school than men now.
People criticized Oprah Winfrey when she went to South Africa and she started up a school for girls. And people were like, why don't you start one for boys and all this stuff? And then she finally responded. She said, the reason is because if I can educate one girl, I know she will take care of her family, her and her family. If it's boys, generally they only take care of themselves, right? It's sad, but she had to try and focus on who was the best to benefit from her program. And those girls who she's educated have gone on to do amazing things in Southern Africa.
another thing I want to bring up, all the guys that have big channels that are claiming to this name. I don't know BMT personally. I think he's a cool guy. You know, I've seen a few of his videos, the non-tricking videos where it's like real tourism, where he's interviewing people. So his interviews are genuine and sometimes I think they're enlightened, but I don't know his content too much to kind of like tell who he is. But I generally think it's a nice guy. But for the most part, the guys that are leading the subscriber counts in this space, look at any of them and tell me, will any affluent woman here in the US, even if they are feminine, want to date any
No,
of these guys though? Would any of
I
them
doubt
even
it.
date them?
I doubt it. Right.
Would
And
any
again,
immigrant chick that lives in the US date them? Like I know
no,
Venezuelans that are here and I talk to them, I go in their circles. Will any of them date these guys? Really?
I don't think so. And I'll tell you specifically for Kenya, because I still have a lot of connections there that I still speak to, my friends and my family. They see these passport bros and they try to be cool with them. I'll give you an example. So, you know, that polo, tournament and the events that they have in Nairobi, right? My friends and family usually are the ones providing the horses or they're attending them because it's their horses that are out there. And these guys are trying to friend them, trying to be the circles, and they won't let them in. And it's because they like, you guys are just trouble. The way you act, the way you're coming and acting, trying to pick up on my girl who she's my wife or she's my girlfriend, and you think it's cool and it's not, and you don't understand that there's decorum and there's ways you act, you will not be accepted. So therefore, you will stick to that part of the city where you'll only go to the clubs where you get finessed because you will never be part of what you call the good life in Kenya. And that's what I know for Kenya. I'm assuming it's the same thing in other countries because,
Yeah,
like, I don't know
yeah,
if Ghana is the same way, but Kenya is a very classist country. Just because you come from the
yeah.
West and you have an accent does
Yeah,
not mean
I,
shit.
I
And
went
money
to
does
high
not buy
school.
class either.
I went with high school with guys that drive Rolls Royces. When I go to
Yeah.
Ghana, they pick me up, man. I've been to Ghana sometimes where I don't spend a single dollar for the whole week that I'm there
Hmm.
because I'm hopping between rich friends, and it's like it's a competition. Everybody wants me to be around them, you
Yeah.
know. One of my cousins has a whole escalator in his house to go up to the third floor.
Hmm.
So the class system is very deep in Africa. Like the general consensus here is that everybody is poor and everybody it's like guys, there's people that roll up on tarmacs. Like
Yeah.
they
Exactly.
will not go to Nigeria by road. They will fly their own private jets or rent one. Yeah, I have friends in the gold business in Ghana. I have friends that do
Yeah.
cocoa. All the chocolates that you're
Hmm.
eating is being exported by some Africans. The
Yeah.
guys that are know how capitalism and know how to take use it to their advantage, they're very resourceful and they got the
Hmm.
means, man. And
Yeah.
I feel like these guys, because they have like a pre-perceived view of Africa, even when they go there, they don't open their eyes to get those connections that they need to make them successful.
It doesn't
They're
compute
just going
because
to the
yeah,
lowest of the barrel. They're going to like the wrong places.
yeah. It doesn't compete with the way, they're viewing, right? But back to it, like while we were on here talking about it, that video, it doesn't target Black Americans. I cannot say that enough. It is everyone who's in Kenya who's doing these things. And specifically, 2 weeks ago, I don't know if I said this on your channel yesterday. 2 weeks ago, a Sudanese man, a Southern Sudanese man, threw a woman who had come to wash his clothes in his apartment, threw her off the seventh floor to her death, 7 floors down, right? There's all kinds of heinous crimes happening all over the neighborhoods where a lot of these sex stores are going to, right? And when I say sex stores, they're not passport bros, it's sex stores all across and making them to do all kinds of things. So it wasn't addressed at Black Americans. I'll say that again. It wasn't. It wasn't because there's an issue that's going on right now in the city where people are being used and abused, and it's because people are being taken advantage of because of their poverty, and it sucks.
Yeah, and I feel like it's also a defensive mechanism for them to always. It's like how they use the race card here in the US, right? It's just a defensive mechanism
It is.
instead of taking responsibility. Africans are not hateful people.
No.
We're just saying be responsible. When you go over there, just do the right things, you know. I'm not saying don't get drunk and have fun, and if a woman comes your way, hey, it's a date, it's part of a travel experience, but don't leave the airport and go to a brothel and expect something good to come out of it. A lot of the women in these brothels are trafficked. Some of them have to work for as maids and not get any pay. Like they have to sleep with 10, 20 guys a night just to
Hmm.
get $10 to their names. And some are charged, they deduct their rent, they deduct so many things that at the end of the day, they are really slaves. And I don't know why these guys are so emotional to the point where they don't want to understand our plight, that really people are really being really enslaved in the modern day. And when we
Yeah.
talk slavery here in the US, people get all hyped up and sensitive, but
It's
we are
happening in
equally
Africa.
participating in it now in Africa and in all these developing countries. These women are really trafficked. They're not doing this on their own will. It's not really something they want to do. I mean, they may
Hmm.
be from poor backgrounds and it could be a survival mechanism, but there are big criminal networks working in this environment. This is like underground shit that if you don't take your dollars there to participate in this, a lot of these businesses will fall off and people will have decent travels and there'll be less crime.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
for
not
some
not
reason, they are so defensive that you can't talk them out of it.
let's look at some of the comments. So I see uh I put Carlos's question to, some of his comments were to the side for a second, but Auto718 asks, my question is, if this wasn't Black Americans doing it in Kenya, would it make a difference? I don't think it's not just, again, it's not about Black Americans. What I'm saying is this has been building up, right? It's been happening over the last several years. And with the advent of it being put now on social media, not just social media, but on these are the websites, Discord, Kick, Patreon, and monetizing it, that's where we have a problem. And it's reached a boiling point. It's not, again, focused on a community. It's not. It's not. It's not. That's just my opinion. I don't know what you
Yeah.
think, Nana.
And I don't, again, they also want to say Jirelo is different from them. There are 2,000, this guy just created a new YouTube channel, and within 3 days, he got 2,000 subscribers. So if you have that many people following him, if you
Hmm.
have that many people donating to him, you are like-minded people. You guys are the same.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to pick on the guy that went to prison and is a bum. And it's I don't want to feel sad for him, but that's a sad statement. Like you know that this guy is flawed and he's the
It's
bottom.
degenerate behavior. Yeah.
You're deploying him. You're deploying him,
Hmm.
but underneath the sheets, you're spending money to fund these activities. It's
Yeah,
entertaining
because you're
you.
still getting money because you'd say, "Oh, I'm coming back to the States. Oh, I'm going to Thailand." People are sending him 50, 100, 10, 20, 30, whatever dollars. And I was
Yep.
like, it's crazy that people still send money to this guy when he's recording himself raping women and assaulting women online.
Right. And when we call it out, now you're saying, oh, you guys don't like Black Americans. You guys don't like this. You guys don't like that. It's like, it's always the easiest defense. Like you can use that, and the goal is that it's like what they do with white people, that every white guy is racist. It's a defensive move to make you feel bad about yourself and about your people, and not to be able to check them. And I'm
Yeah.
calling BS on it. Like, hey, if you're a good person, I don't care if your skin is gray, green, yellow, I'll vibe with you. But I'm not gonna sign on to something just because your skin color is the same as mine. I'll call a Kenyan out and I'll call a Ghanaian out that entertains in the same shit. I've called out Ayam Marwa. I don't like him. I don't like what he does.
Yeah.
So it's not uniquely targeted at Black Americans. We live in America. We can't do that.
Yeah.
If we
Hmm.
the ones that live here are doing that, can you imagine how far off the guys that live in Africa would be? You probably won't be
Yeah.
able to get to the airport.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. So
It's just a defensive mechanism. It's not really true. We're not hateful people.
You're not, and I'll keep calling it out. The way the actions that I've taken since this whole thing with Jay Rello and moving forward, I'm not taking any of that back at all. Right? My discovery, and I'll tell you, like for me, I so happened to stumble randomly on a video of Austin Holloman last, and I was like, "There's something off here." And the way you're selling Kenyan, that's when I signed up for his Patreon. I was like, "Holy shit!" Right? And that's when he was like posting all these videos, doing all these things. And then as I saw that video last December, I was like, "Okay, all right, so I need to do something about this." Right?
Yeah.
And like
And,
just calling him out as best as I could.
and people, and maybe because this hasn't really made the media like that, white people get checked in Africa too. I've seen a
They
few of them
do.
in jail. Ghana just sent over
They
200 Chinese people back to China
yeah.
about 2 months ago.
That happens, and they also get unalived. I mean, it happens. It
Yeah,
just because it
you don't
doesn't make
listen to
this
enough
social
African
media.
news to know what
Hmm.
goes on. And maybe I should start bringing on some daily African news on the channel for people to actually be exposed to it because there are sometimes it's just in our local news or local general all African news and it doesn't make it out of Citizen TV or any other channels over there. And
Hmm.
guys in America will never hear of it. Your news won't cover it. The only reason you're hearing about the Black American stories is because a lot of us are covering it and we're talking about it. But it's the same energy for the Chinese. I think they
It
even they
is.
get mocked all the time. I know
They
Chinese
they
people that get
do they do, and I'll tell you in Kenya, like specifically Nairobi, they've also designated themselves to like a specific neighborhood. The kids go to Kenyan schools, but they're careful about keeping their people in line, right? And this whole thing of, oh, you don't call out the Chinese, you don't call out the Indians. Oh, they're called out. They're called out. Like you said, it doesn't make like international like news focus in America that this happened in this part of Africa, this specific country. It doesn't get covered the same way, but they do get called out, right? As an example, there's a rape case that happened in Kenya in a British training ground that they use in northern part of the country from 16 years ago. This guy killed this woman and ran back to the UK. He was a British soldier. He just got I think they either have extradited him or they're in the planning process for him to get extradited for prosecution in Kenya, right? So like prosecution and stuff like that or these crimes, it does happen. You just may not like what we're saying, but like I've said, I'm saying right now, what I'm saying, I don't care what anybody says. I'm not asking anybody for any funding, any platform for me to go beg for anything. No, I don't give a fuck. Like I'll do what I'm doing, and
right.
I'll
And
do it because I have a purpose, and that's that.
I
You don't like it, I don't care. I sleep well at night, every single night.
And I get that too. Like somebody on my comment section today was telling me that what a few comments, some of them were saying it the same thing that I don't like Black Americans. Why am I so focused on the passport bros? And then I one of the guys I was saying there are videos on my channel that teach people how to get certain job skills, and only 20 people will click it.
Exactly.
You
I saw
the
I
things
saw your
that help
video from
men
today,
grow.
by the way, with the Russian soldier. I thought that was pretty cool. Not
Yeah, very
what,
few.
like I thought it was cool that you were talking in Russian and getting to understand his psyche and what he
His
was about.
psyche and what he was doing over there. Yeah,
Yeah,
but these are all educational. People don't will not watch a lot of that. They want to watch the the most controversial things, and that is okay. That's how we are wired, right? We need something that brings a lot more engagement, and it still doesn't shy away from the fact that the bottom line is this: my channel is not created for passport bros or to comment do commentary about passport bros. I only started talking about it after Jay Relo went to Kenya and I hated what he did over there. My channel is overall to help men improve, to give men
hmm
uh, that some of the hidden knowledges and ideas out there that can put more money in their pockets. That's all it's about. It's a male improvement channel. And I
yeah,
used to react to Kevin Samuel's videos before YouTube demonetized me for copyright. Essentially, it wasn't really copyright, they said reuse content.
Mm,
And at the time, I was new to reaction videos. So what I'll do is I'll play Kevin Samuels and I only have two comments at the end of the video, right? So it was technically copyright. And I didn't know the rules. I was just doing fun videos. So I didn't really care about it.
yeah.
And the first month of monetization, I got my first check. Month two, I got demonetized. And I was like, okay. Then I left YouTube alone. I didn't come back to it. Then I kind of renewed the channel again. What about maybe 3 months ago? I came back to it. So it's the like to point this out is like I'm not a passport bro hater. I'm not. I just hate anything that diminishes men. Anything that creates more degeneracy or creates more problems.
Mm,
These guys are running away from these women, but they have created these women too.
yeah.
They don't want to accept it. But these women were not always like this. American women were not always like this.
I will say
And
this.
you
I will
can't
say
blame the
this.
laws too. Like
I
they
will say
have been
this.
created as oh, go ahead.
I will say this. So, like for me, I've done deep understanding of what I'd call like the Black experience in America. Um, I've been to Alabama, where they have a monument that was built by a lawyer by the name of Brian Stevenson, that he's dedicated to everybody who was lynched, right, in American history. That was very moving to do that. I have listened to the 1619 project, which if anybody hasn't listened to it, Spotify still has it up. You can go listen to the 4 episodes. They're long, they're very painful to listen to because they get into the details, but you get to understand America is a broken system for, I believe, this is just my opinion, for minorities and specifically for Black people. And I'll give an example of what I learned by listening to the 1619 project. So, Nana, you have a job, right? I have a job. What we know of as corporate America today actually stemmed from slavery in the 1800s. And what I mean by that is they went ahead and so every man, they used to have these ledger books. And so every plantation used to take man, woman, child, and they would say, let's say, man A, today picked, 50 bales of cotton. And, you know, there was a description of who the person is, age, size, height, capability. And so from day to day, they'd say, today you picked 50. Tomorrow you picked 49, you'd get whipped because you didn't pick 50. And it was down to the cent. Like it seemed like there's a trajectory that was going down, you'd get sold to the next plantation that could afford you. If you went up, I mean, it gets into like how the strongest and the biggest were having kids, not only with other women, but with their sisters, with their mothers. It was just so heinous. So I understand the pain of Black America from my perspective. Do I experience it on a daily basis? I'd say yes and no because when people look at me, they see a Black person, but they can't really tell the difference, right? That I'm African versus Black American. But I understand that the system itself has broken Black America, right? And I think, like what you're saying, taking personal responsibility is a big part of it and saying, this is my situation. I got to figure it out. It's broken and I can't let it define me. So I think, like you're seeing this black exit or black exit, as they're calling it, moving to Africa. I think that's great for peace of mind, for healing, for all these things. But to go to Africa and then commoditize our women like people were commoditized centuries ago, like a century ago, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And so, like you, I will call it out, and I don't have a problem doing so because it is what it is.
When Ghana did the year of return, where a lot of Black Americans were invited to Ghana and they earned citizenship, I read. I think this was on BBC World, the editorial board. I read a black lady. I believe she was from New Jersey, and in a statement she said, soon as that plane took off and they went over the Atlantic Ocean, she slept because a lot of the flights are at night. She slept, but they woke them up 2 hours before landing. And then before they were landing in Accra, the Accra airport is on the coast. So you can actually see the ocean You can see, if you look very closely next to the airport, you can see some of the forts and the castles where those British people stayed at, and some of them kept slaves there. And the lady said she had mixed feelings when she was looking through the window and seeing some of that architecture going down. She kind of knew what it could be because she had read a bit about it, but she didn't really know what it was. And she concludes by saying, and I quote unquote, I mean, not verbatim, but she says, soon as she landed and got out of the plane, she felt a certain level of freedom that she's never felt her whole life. And that comes with how much work, it's not even the racism and all the other injustices that goes on here. It's just the fact that we are really robots here. Africans chill. When they go to
Mm.
work and it's 5 p.m.,
Yep.
shit, they're out there, they're having fun, and they're chilling. Even with little resources,
Yeah.
they will make sure they are the poorest of the poorest will still have a good time.
Yep.
For the first time, that it wasn't a heavily police state. There were no guns, there were no shootings, there were no people, like, really, people were just living regular normal lives, and it was just an open sky. And she felt so much relief. She said it changed her a lot when she got back to the US. And I want that experience for everybody else, like, and I think it's a beautiful thing to go and experience it, to be amongst people that don't care about your skin color.
Hmm.
But I urge also Americans to detoxify themselves a little bit and get away from the narrative that somebody hates you. They don't hate anybody. They will hate you for who you are. They hate J. Rello, but they might not hate O'Shea Duke Jackson. And if
Yeah.
they hated O'Shea Duke Jackson, he would not be in Uganda. So it's about you. This is all individuals. Like, if you carry yourself well, you have a good time. And I say this, and I'm not marketing my channel here. I'm just saying that because I'm committed, and I've said it openly, that I'm very committed to telling people the truth. I have nothing to protect, nothing to hide. You can learn a lot by being part of my community, by coming on, because I allow everybody on. I don't restrict anybody,
Mm.
and just learning a thing or two. And I invite guys from other parts of Africa to come on and they tell their experiences. You get real learning that you never receive anywhere else. This is really a free jam. You're gonna have people that will tell you how to behave yourself, how to present yourself. And even I'm telling guys how to date in these countries, and I didn't want to do content like that. I'm telling you what red flags to look out for so that you don't end up like the guy that just got finessed by that Kenyan lady. And I said, if that guy had listened to me 2 weeks prior, he
Yeah.
wouldn't have he wouldn't have been in that situation. And what I feel right now is I'm getting a lot of pushback from quote unquote these passport bro groups, even when they know that what we're talking about is actually true. They know
I think
that.
the denial is big, right, within the community. But that's where, like, for me, like, I'll go on BMT or Raise a Raise, and I'll talk, and people will say things in the comments. But again, like I said, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's like water off, down my back, like a duck. I don't. It doesn't matter.
Right, and what is the goal? Like, again, and I'm sure you've heard me say this. These are the outcomes. You're either gonna move there, like Carlos said, he's gonna move there, right?
Hmm.
You're either gonna move there to a foreign country. You need to figure out how you're gonna make money when you move there. That's one.
Yep.
Then, or you're gonna move her here. There's a potential that she will run off for visa reasons, or she'll run off because you're not gonna be able to provide for her. A hybrid relationship. The risk with a hybrid relationship is you will not be faithful and she will not be faithful. So it
Yep.
really isn't a relationship. If they don't listen to the advice that we're putting out, they will end up, and these are the guys that want to take it seriously. They will still end up 50 years old, 60 years old without a relationship. And they may be forced to get into the DMs of these three kids by three different moms. Those girls are always going to be here. They're going to keep waiting for you. They're just going to get older while you're out there tricking. So why don't you focus on banking the best relationship you can get when you go abroad instead of hopping between countries and paying for bucks location to location? We're not kids. We know what they're doing. Me and you go to those groups, with chat groups. We
Mm-hmm.
know what they're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
You're going from location to location buying bucks. Then you come
And
back
the
to the
thing
US
is,
and sit
they
down.
don't hide it, and that's the thing. They don't hide it. And I'll say it also, they're not sophisticated technically to understand that people can still see what they're commenting. If you're traveling and you have the means to do so, you don't have to go out there and show it off. You know, you don't have to go out and like tell everybody what you're doing and how you're doing it. You travel, you enjoy yourself, you go home. But this whole thing again, going back to it, commoditizing, I'm not for that. And if you don't have the money, stay home.
Yeah, and a lot of them don't have the money. That's another thing that I talk about is like they are doing this in their prime years. These are the years you're supposed to be working. Do you have an FSA? Do you have an HSA account? Do you have a 401k? Do you have a Roth? Do you have some stocks? Are you diversified? Do you have multiple streams of income? These are your
Yeah.
grind years. These are the years, I'm 41. I've had a good 20-year run in corporate America. I'm good,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
you know. But I worry that a lot of these guys are doing this at the age where, first of all, they don't have any money. They're raising money just to even buy an air ticket. A lot of them don't have good credit scores. They don't have credit cards. They take payday loans. They pawn their shit. And when they come back, no knock on blue collar, but when they come back, they don't have steady jobs. It's not like they're working at a coal plant where it's consistent. They are
Yeah.
picking airport shifts. They are picking little DoorDash here and there, Uber here and there. That is not consistent income. That's not consistent revenue or money. That even if you finally decide to settle on a foreign woman, when you come to the US, you leave your ass. I saw that guy when she moved in with a Kenyan girl. I went on the girl's TikTok just to kind of piece together a few things. They
Mm,
were pretty much struggling in the beginning when they got here.
mm,
They
mm.
were not, they were, I think they were living with family, his family, when they got here.
I think I did see that they were living like I think the mother-in-law and father-in-law like visited in Kenya for a little
Yeah, and I
bit, and
think he
then
picked like a little car,
hmm
the car he was driving. I mean, decent, okay, decent startup car, but it felt like somebody that was starting life. And me and you know, man, these African chicks, they don't like struggle, bro.
no, they don't. Especially when they come to the States and they themselves may have come from like abject poverty. They're like, wait, I need a good life because I didn't move
Yeah,
away from my family and my people to come and struggle the same way I struggle back home. That's a
exactly. And they
fact.
have responsibilities at home. We send money home. You send money home. I send money home. I
Yeah.
can't even count the number of tuition fees that I've paid for nephews that I've never seen face to face. We have responsibilities to take care of people. So you're always going to be a passport for those women to get out of tough situations, and that will extend to an entire family. A lot of us foreign, I would say, like I'm putting myself in a Black American suit right now. A lot of us here in the US, we will never understand that. I
Hmm.
don't care how many times you travel to Africa, it doesn't come as part of your travel experience. Like what really goes deep down within an African family. And I was telling guys this story when I joined one of these chat rooms. I said, sometimes that girl's mom and dad can be in on a plan and they'll smile with you, they'll be at the wedding, they'll help you cut your cake, they'll even come in their best suit, but they know 100% their daughter is going to run off. What say
Yes.
you?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Um, to address some of the things that I'm seeing Carlos saying in the comments and everything, I think it's already been debunked. Stop talking about Kenya. That you have no knowledge of the country. You have no historical background. That's an absolute fact. I'm from Kenya. You're not. You don't know anything about the place. So stop it. We don't hate Black Americans. I'll say it again. Kenyans are generally and genuinely very curious people. But once you cross over and you start doing the shenanigans, there is a problem. and it's happening across the board, different ethnicities, different races, different nationalities, foreigners. It's happening. So us calling them out, I'm not saying specifically, and I'll say it again, right? And open up your ears, Carlos, if you're listening, because I know you are. It does not target Black Americans. I cannot be any more articulate than what I'm saying right now, but that's a fact. My fact.
I think they know it. They just don't want to accept it. If they do, if they accept it, there will be no more things to use to as complaint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's literally like calling a white guy racist even when they're not racist. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the typical Western playbook. Always find like when he was on the call, he went to education and IQ levels. And like bro, my story, the reason why I I have to be a very confident creator to do what I do. And the reason
Oh
I,
yeah, of
I
course, it's
do it,
difficult. Yeah.
it is I do that because I've done the work and I know that if I call out guys like O'Shea and all these guys that have big following, they will have an army to go out there and look for something about me to discredit me, right?
Hmm.
So I know I had always made sure that I was clean textbook. No human being is perfect, but at least one that I'm not a brokey. Because if you are a brokey, then obviously you have no credibility. I said I'm not a brokey. I've gone to college. I speak multiple languages. It's on my channels. You can see it.
Right.
And I did a master's degree in math. There's not many people that have that combination nationwide in mathematics. There's a reason for that. I'm passing this on to my children, and I want to show these habits to all the men that will start families after me and learn, maybe get into a real, like nothing hidden, all out there. I'm putting everything out there. I'm exposing myself to the fullest. My flaws, my good habits, my bad habits, and hope that people pick up the good ones and like passing on to their children so that they can. That's why when I go to taekwondo with my kids, I put maybe photos or I tell the audience that, hey, we did taekwondo today, we did this today. This is a project of mine. This is all on purpose to get a few men to have the best outcomes. I really strongly believe that. I believe that if I put my life out there generally to people, I can help a few guys get jobs. I've shown some of my interviews where I'm applying to jobs and I'm interviewing and I'm sharing my experiences after those interviews, like real life experiences. I'm putting all these things out there so that people can look at it and just learn from it. I've asked my wife to come on the live stream and talk to guys about foreclosures. Like if you are in a home and you're about to lose your home, uh, do you give it to the bank or what are your options? She's a real estate attorney. She does civil litigation.
Okay.
She can give people free gems. These are people that make $345 an hour, but she's
Yeah.
willing to give people free gems just to help my channel, and it'll help somebody. So I put all this out there. My book that I talk about all the time. I wrote that book. One, I make money from it, but I also wrote it knowing that after all these years in tech, SAP was the one place that we always struggle to recruit people. Like we to this very day, even though there are no jobs in America right now, the one area that we struggle always to find employees is in SAP. So what I thought about it, I said, you know what, let me write an SAP guide to help people to get into this part of IT, make about $200,000 a year. Who do you think the audience is for this book? Of course, it's Black Americans.
Mm.
And why? Because they are the majority of my audience. And me and you have said this openly numerous times. The jobs that we apply to, you'd be very lucky to find a Black American in those
Yeah.
industries.
In the roles that I've been in and the one that I'm in right now, I'm one of one. I'm one of one who's
Yep.
Black overall, right? And
Yep.
I have mentored. I've tried to help. I've tried to assist. I think it's important to give back and mentor. It's huge. Um, I gotta ask, hey, Kaylee, are you still awake?
Yes, I'm here.
Uh,
I'm here. I thought
oh,
maybe we should end the live stream in a few. I don't know what's your position.
oh, there's somebody's trying to come up. Real deal. I don't know who that is. Somebody wants to say something.
Who is that?
Real deal. He says, "Can I come up and ask something of you two?"
Okay, let me share the live stream.
Yeah.
What time is it over there, KLA?
It's already 4 a.m.
Jesus.
Jeez, you've been up all night?
Yes, I've been up. This is
Yeah,
serious
man.
matters.
Sorry, bro.
Mm. All right, let's see what Real Joe has questions about.
So he's gonna get the link soon.
Okay.
Yeah, once soon as it's done, I'll check off. Today is my wife's birthday, so I'm not gonna stream. I wanna.
It's a
Yes,
birthday.
sir.
Happy birthday to her.
Yeah,
Everybody
thanks,
too.
man. Yes, sir.
I see my friend. Shout out to Kung Fu Fanta. He's around.
Yeah, see, hey, Kung Fu,
Yeah,
what's going on?
yeah. He's saying Kele, we used to eat. Yeah, he knows I could stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, real deal.
Oh, so I
You are like
guess Real Deal is Carlos's buddy. Okay, let's see what he's got to say.
Hey, greetings to you gentlemen on line. For those, thank you for bringing me up. Hello to Mr. Nana and hello to Mr. Kobe.
What's
Um,
up?
the questions I want to have ask you all. I was listening to you all the stream, and I've heard a lot of things going back and forth on both sides, and I kind of hear. I'm kind of confused. I hear where both parties are actually coming from. I get where you all are coming from in terms of having individuals come to a place and carry on in a certain type of way. I also understand what other parties are coming from in terms of, I guess, when they look at the Caucasian fellas or whatever the case may have been. When they speak about individuals that go to Kenya and they say that they're able to get away with certain things because of the way that the culture is structured. But one question I wanted to propose to you all, it doesn't matter who answered first. What do you think people could do differently in terms of, I guess you would say the Black American men that travel there? Because from what I'm learning is like, okay, you got people like the J Rillos that do things like that, unfortunately. But you also have from it's been brought to my attention, some Black American men that's traveled there and that's lived there that have never gotten in any trouble or haven't done anything crazy. But it seems like our lowest men out of Black America is kind of like taking the front page news for whatever that's taking place. And I feel like, honestly, even though I've never been to the continent yet, I feel like that's an unfortunate event because I feel like those type of individuals like Jay Real, I think one of you all said that he has another page. He has 3,000 followers. Did I hear that correctly?
It's almost 2000. I think it's almost 2000 now, I think.
Okay. So he has almost 2,000. Now I don't know who those 2,000 guys are. I can imagine they possibly are American dudes or something. I doubt females are giving him money. I don't know what crowd they may be to donate for him to go over there and do that type of entertainment or what have you. And I will agree with you all that that's wrong. But I'm asking, like, what do you all think can be done to kind of bridge that gap? I'm talking about as far as like, so that nobody looks at the decent people and make that mistake. Is there a way that people can target the people that need to be out? Like, okay, I would agree with you. Like, hey, get Austin Holloman them out of there. I don't think that they're doing anything. I don't think they're a great representative. That kid greatness guy. I agree with you all on getting them out of Africa. I totally stand with you all on that. But aside from those type of people, what about the decent people that's not running around with cameras, trying to make a living off of content and and all that foolishness and stuff like that. Like, what can
Okay.
you do to make things better so that those people feel welcome?
Can
That's
I can I
not
can I
messing up
answer
the
your
yeah,
question?
yeah. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna tell you specifically about Kenya. I say this early in this live stream. Kenya has an issue with people recording, like like vlogging, as they're traveling around, and it stems from our fight against terrorism, right, with Al Shabaab in the area. When the attacks were happening, what the I guess the setup guys are doing is they'd go record like entrances of nice hotels, entrances of nice malls, nice restaurants, just kind of like recon, right? To use a military term. So Kenyans are still hyper aware because like when I was growing up, there was none of that. You could go walk into a nice restaurant, a hotel, whatever, and it wasn't barricaded and you weren't like being patted down every single time you go out, you come back in, it's the same thing. So people are hyper vigilant. The second thing too, culturally, Kenyans are private people. You won't find us like, you see the young people like online and everything, but as a society, we don't like to be recorded without our consent. And the places where, the Kid Greatnesses and the Austins are going, it by default, that's those are the nicer areas, and those people who do have money, they don't want to be seen like randomly while they're having dinner with their friends or with their family, being recorded without being requested, because that is a Western phenomenon, right? Like Kenyans don't really do it. Like the middle class and upper classes don't do it. They just won't do it. So that's why they're struggling. And I'll tell you specifically for Kid Greatness in Austin, that's why they struggle making content. The places they want to record that are nice, people don't want to be recorded. And that's why they're being told to shut it down.
And
Right?
also, if I want to add a little bit, you're also taking the first step by listening to KLA and a few guys from the continent. Because before this, a lot of y'all never heard our positions on this, right? So the fact that you're even here and you're asking these questions will guide you when you travel. And also, if you can, and I know this is not available to everybody, get some ground contacts. There's a lot of Africans that live in the US. Meet up somebody, send somebody an email, reach out to Kung Fu and uh, KLA and Thanos here, Kobe, and just ask those questions before you embark on those trips, and then try to separate yourself from them. And if you see anything that is not pro men, and I'm not making any racial delineation here, pro men generally, like degenerate acts and stuff, or channels that are pushing this, don't be a part of it. Just call it out. And I think this will speak for any other
And
country
that's
you
and
go to,
that's
not just
huge.
Africa, like everywhere
That
you
that
go to.
yeah, that part Nana just said is call it out, because the issue is when you go on Austin's or Kid Greatnesses or even Jay Rello when he's had his live stream the last couple of weeks, the comments that are in the chat, because you can sit there and you can look at them and they're like, they're not calling it out. Even when I went on BMT's live stream, and I won't keep going into that, but I called out Austin about his behavior. It was brushed off as, oh, he was just kidding about what he did to that woman last December. What? Do you realize that people actually are looking for that content? And I won't say specifically it's a group of people. I think it's just human nature to want the worst. That's the reason why we watch horror movies, or like back in the days of the Romans, like with you know, the the Colosseums and stuff. I just think that there's a part of it that's just broken society-wise to want to see the worst, and that cannot happen. That's why it bothers me so much. And I'm doing what I'm doing because you are encouraging people to have degenerative behavior. Jay Rella still has his videos up on Twitter, and you see the comments there of what people are saying were saying when he was doing it, right? That's a problem. He assaulted a woman, and right before he left, he raped a woman. That's crazy, right?
And from what I'm hearing, that woman told him that she had AIDS, and he still did it without protection. Am I correct?
And I don't know if that's correct or not. I don't know if he said, but I know he actually admitted multiple times, I caught something, right? And I'm sleeping, I'm going in, I'm going in without a condom. I'm going in raw. And he kept saying it. And it's that degenerative behavior. and the women there are poor, right? So think about it this way: you live in the States.
Yes.
In some way, shape, or form, if you don't have money, you can either depend on Social Security, or I'm sorry, like government help, like through unemployment tax, or you have family. Somehow you can hustle and you can get some money. In
Correct.
Africa, and a lot of times, if your family's poor, you're poor. Like you're poor.
Your whole
So
generation is poor.
your whole generation poor, your whole family's poor. So you can't really rely on it because they're also struggling. So to have a foreigner come and hang out with you, and then you're doing one, two, three, and he says, yo, listen, let me just not use this or whatever. And he's throwing some money at you. He's like, "Oh, it's either that or I don't eat. It's either that or I don't have a means of being able to take myself home because I don't know what could happen." Right? So taking again, it's what I call neo-colonialistic attitudes and ideations. In Africa, you can ask the U.S. military has struggled to put an actual base in Africa. Do you know why? Colonialism. Africa does not like that. Different African countries do not like neo-colonialistic ideas because most of us received independence in the last 80 years. So to have that person, whether it's someone an American, or it's a Brit, or it's an Aussie guy, or someone from Europe or India or China doing those kinds of things. It bothers people, right? And that's
Yeah.
where I have a problem because they're doing it, they're making money off of it, and they're inviting others to do it.
Well, one thing I can say, my personal perspective about that, I agree with you. That is distasteful. I stand with you on that. As far as what Austin and Kid Greatness is doing, but more so than anything, the government in Kenya or wherever he go, whatever country he goes to, it's up to them and it's up to the people to not only reach out and say something, put an end to it, but it's up to that government to respond in a certain manner to deal with him. To be fair, if they don't have the certain laws they're set up to discipline people like that, that's pulling out cameras and exposing and putting their dirty secrets out there for the internet, or deal with individuals that are acting in a very unsavory manner, then to be honest with you, the decent people back home, there's nothing. I mean, all the way over here, we're in a total different jurisdiction.
So
There's
let me
nothing
let
we,
me tell you what
yeah,
happens. Let me tell you
yeah,
what happens because now you're going into what should and what could, right?
uh-huh,
Should the government arrest him? Yes. Could they
yeah,
arrest him? They could arrest him, but right now, I'll give an example. In my opinion, the Kenyan government and Kenyan political class is focused on the upcoming election the next 2 years, right? This has been raised up, and they paying attention, but at the same time they're not because they're focusing on what seat they're gonna get. So what then gets relegated, and it's already happened because you're seeing activists, and this is the reason why we're on this call. Activists are coming out and saying, address it. And they're calling out the president and the political class, address it, because if it doesn't, vigilante justice in Kenya specifically is a thing. People get taken out in the streets, beat up, and laced and lynched. People take justice into their own hands. Ask the Chinese, this happened to them. This happened to the Nigerians, right? Even local people, local thieves, because people are frustrated. So if I see and I hear that you're doing this to quote unquote my sister, my Kenyan sister, but not necessarily related, and I hear about it and I see how you're acting, I tell you to stop recording me and you give me some confrontational behavior. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna take that rock on the ground and knock you upside your head. Am I condoning myself personally? No, but that's what it leads to, right? Government do something, they're not doing anything. Well, activists talk about it. No one does anything, and then it just goes down to the lowest degenerative, number of who's going to go ahead and just do what they feel that they're going to do in the moment, and then unfortunately becomes an international incident. Because
okay,
in Africa, as I said, you're thinking, oh, the country should get involved. I'll tell you what, people get robbed all the time. People get, stabbed. People get shot all the time. So in this case, it hasn't happened yet. Could it happen? Definitely. Because when someone is desperate enough, just the same way as it happens here, you remember when COVID happened, when people were just grabbing shit out of the supermarkets, right? And these
yes,
these these are decent people. It's the same thing that happens. If I see you're taking advantage of my people, oh, you're fair game. And it's happening, right?
yeah,
You hear about what happened in Sosua. Someone got stabbed, right? That kind
yes,
of behavior where people get tired or someone got finessed, it was the wrong deal. That's the thing in Africa. When it gets to a certain fever point, people just say enough is enough, and they take justice into their own hands. So yeah.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna check out. But hey, one thing I'll leave you with this, and I said it already. Just call them out. The more we're calling them out, I know I got their attention. I've seen them taking clips of me talking about me and stuff. That's all you need. Just call them out. If you call them out, a lot of them will not go, and that'll not affect your image when you go over there. I don't think everybody's like them. Don't be a part of them. Just travel safe, build ground connections, enjoy your moment. Date when you travel, no problem. Nobody has an issue with that. Just don't be a
And
part of them. Don't buy chicks. Don't do all that, degenerate stuff, and you'll be fine. Kenyans are gonna welcome you, man.
to piggyback off of what you gentlemen just got finished saying, from my recollection, it was the decent men, and Carlos was one of them. He called out a lot of people that was decent, called out the behaviors of Jay Rillo, and not just Jay Rillo himself, just anybody that was going out of town with the cameras and all that stuff. People have been called out and said that Austin Holloman, we felt like he everywhere he go, he kind of creates this storm because you have these guys, especially these young guys, and I'm just calling out like I see it. They act like they've never seen a woman before, and they go into these places, and oh my God, I got a camera. Oh my God, it's a woman. Let me show you all this. Let me show you all that. And personally, myself as a traveling man, I kind of take a slight issue to it now. The reason I do is because, well, certain I go places that they don't go, but for one, I don't want them bringing a lot of people to these places and messing it up, raising up prices for various things, and all kind of crazy behaviors happening because you got all these different crowds of people that have saw you that's going. Now, to be fair, I'm not sure if everybody that sit there and watches Austin Holloman or Kid Greatness or anybody else online for that matter. To be honest, a lot of those guys are just people sitting around watching internet. A good portion of those guys can't even afford, or they're not in position to even go to Africa or go to any of these other countries for that matter. I think they're kind of like living vicariously through other
Yeah,
people.
of course.
But the problem comes in that, and I agree with you on this because I was wondering why who's sending money to somebody like a Jay Rillo to fund him to do that. My whole thing is I think if you can strike them down some type of way in terms of I don't know how they could do it, but they have to think of a way to eliminate their ability to send him money because the reason someone like a Jay Rillo is able to go to those places is because he's being funded. So him have his mentality. If he's not being funded, he could think how he think he'll just be stuck over here and he won't be such an embarrassment. But I will say this much: decent men and a lot of passport bros, or whether they passport bros, not just decent men that travel, they have called out a lot of these people. They have talked against Jay Rillo. As a matter of fact, they've been trying to see what they can do over here to have him arrested, or what can actually
Who specifically
transpire.
you saying has done things? Because I can tell you, I know I asked Carlos Strada, and he denies it as much as he can, that I need you to go ahead and try to reach out to FBI or somebody to go ahead and say something. The more people who communicate and share that information, the more they're likely to act. And he said, not my problem. I asked Kio Kesha, who's also in Kenya, right? And I asked Austin KG, who invited him, say something. They're like, well, it's not our problem, it's the Kenya's problem. I said, okay, see, that right there is an issue. And again, for the average Kenyan, they don't care they hit this person, that person. You all sound the same. You might as well be all part of the same crowd. If I personally didn't even speak Swahili and they just heard me speak English, like, you're not even Kenyan yourself. You're probably part of this group if I was to go there on vacation, right? It's unfortunate that people get put into boxes, but it's just, again, the average person on the ground, that's what they're thinking.
I can imagine. I know how people think when you see certain things, just like when a lot of us see this situation with the young lady who ran off on a guy when she got over here. She happens to be a Kenyan woman. People feel some type of way about going. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of, I had no plans of going to the continent anyway, as of now. But if I wanted to go, I'm not gonna lie to you, that would have definitely discouraged me from going, viewing something like this. So I do understand the power of what's being shown to people, and
Yeah. Yes.
perception is everything. I do understand that much. But
Mhm.
like I said, I don't even know at this point if it can be repaired, because so much stuff has been put out there, I think, on both sides through this internet, and both sides have, I'm listening to what both people coming from. Both people got somewhat of a point or whatever it is. I understand if I'm from over there and somebody come doing this, I understand how you would feel about it. And I understand, I guess they saying, hey, well, I get it. We calling out this guy, but what about them white folk? You can call them out. I guess I understand that too. But on the flip side of that, I don't know. It's hard for me to say if someone could meet in the middle after so much damage, I guess, has been done.
It
I
can.
don't know. I don't.
It can happen because
Yeah.
again, Kenyans are quick to forgive, and we love foreigners. We love, tourism is one of our, of Kenya's biggest exports, right? Like coming out and touring like Masai Mara and all these different places. Kenyans are quick to forgive. The problem is if it becomes this narrative that people are creating content and making money off of just going around to the key places. They go to the slums, they go to a nice restaurant. And that slum thing is already played out because they also know, and can again think about it this way. Kenyans see enough foreigners that they already know I gotta act a certain way when the foreigner is around, either to make money off of them or whatever. And they always say, oh, there's a black tax or there's a foreigner tax whenever you go to buy something. No, that happens to anywhere. You got to bargain. And if they think that do have money, because it also happens to those of us in the diaspora who travel there, you gotta talk them down to a local price. But that's difficult because that person is trying to put food on the table. It's not that they're making a huge profit either, right? So being able to say, oh, I can travel beyond this, like even if you decided right now to go to Kenya, you'd be fine. The issue comes in when you start acting up and pretending as if Africans don't matter or having this ethnocentric attitude and treating the locals like they don't matter. That's when it becomes a problem. But there's thousands and millions, in fact, hundreds of thousands of people who go to Kenya every single year, and there's never an issue. Don't
So
even be
let me.
concerned about that.
Yeah. So you said like it's millions of people that's gone there and they have not had that
Yeah.
issue. So okay. So before this Jay Rillo thing, and like I said, I know that's pretty heavy or whatever. Millions of people have gone there and they have not done what this guy who was getting donations from some crazy dudes, I can imagine, have done. Why is it? And I'm not saying that it shouldn't be something that people should be angry about. Yeah, you should, but I'm just asking, like, why is he, the golden child of, if most people, okay, how can I put it? If the Caucasian folks from Europe have come there and they've done worse, or they've done the same thing he's done before he's gotten there, and then you said these other great people have came there before him, and they've conducted themselves on a normal level. My only question is, why haven't those European Caucasians been called out like Jay Rilla? I feel like
They
not
have
only
been
should Jay.
called out. You just don't hear about it in the news, right? Because
Okay.
it's not broadcasted here. The reason why Jarello is the poster child, quote unquote, right now is it's the internet. It's monetization. It's in your face because it's happened for decades. It's happened for centuries, right? But it's the fact that people are seeing it. You open your phone, you're seeing it, you're hearing about it from your friend, even in these circles, so to speak. And if you're hearing about traveling and all this stuff, it's there, right? It's there specifically in Kenya. The reason why it's such a big deal right now, excuse me, is because it's not only been happening with just these passport bros, quote unquote. It's again foreigners. I talked about there's a Sudanese man who threw a woman off the seventh floor to her death. 7 floors down, she died. Chinese people have been doing this. Indians are doing it, right? And the specific neighborhoods where these passport bros are hanging out and living, it's in the same neighborhood. So people are angry and upset.
So when you say the passport bros, are you speaking in rec? Because I want to put this out there. Jay Rillo is not a passport bro, and that
When
other
when
guy
I'm
who
talking
got.
about passport bros, I'm talking about just travelers, the recent
Okay, okay, I
travelers
got you,
who
I
are
got you, I
going
got you.
overseas,
Okay, I got you,
who are
I got
going vlogging and monetizing and creating content to put online.
Okay, so those, okay, so now we have some. Now we've identified the problem, and I agree with you. I think I stand with you on that. I think those are the problems. The guys that are walking around blogging everything, I honestly think they make stuff too hot, and personally, I think they sometimes bring about a crowd that can raise up prices and so on and so forth. These guys that come over. They can some could cost $10, and once they get there, just because they got 100 to spend, they gonna give the person $100. So I get it. I don't want that crowd around either, and I don't want the bloggers around heating up the spots and all of that stuff either. But I don't know what people can do unless they, like I said, they have to put some type of law in place or something for them bloggers or whatever to stop.
It's already being acted on behind
Okay,
the scenes. It's already been acted on behind the scenes. The
okay, okay.
issue is, and Carlos, because I know you're listening, just like in the military, one person fucks up, everybody gets it all. It's the same situation. So I just say travel like the way you travel, right? And just enjoy experience. And that's it. Just be kind to the people, get to understand their culture a little bit, get to know the language, try to talk to locals. People get to just know you as you are. No harm, no foul. The
Yeah,
problem
well,
is,
see,
as I said,
yeah,
people
Carlos,
start acting
Carlos
like
won't.
these guys do.
Yeah, yeah, Carlos won't have no problem. He don't act nothing like them, so he won't have no problem going to those places. He's been there,
Carlos
like
is
he won't.
just mad at me. Carlos is just mad at me.
Oh, okay, I got a disagreement. Okay, I got it. I got it.
I don't get it. Doesn't
but,
matter. Yeah.
but,
As I
but
said, I'll just say the one person gets it all because you said he was military and so was I.
yeah, well, I mean that's true. They make everybody do the push-ups. When one person acts up or something like that in the military, and I've never been in the military, so I've heard that much. But
Mm.
I understand how that. That's why I said it's important because of the one thing I would hate to hear about, even though I don't plan on going to the continent myself anytime soon or nothing like that, or ever even probably going. I would hate for the decent men that have been over there for so many years, and I would say the decent women that's probably even moved over there, that's been over there like for so many years, and they're
See,
normal
those people are
acting
not
people.
being those people are not being affected. Like again, it's when you start acting like
Mhm.
a neo-colonialist, right? Because it
Okay,
happens.
okay.
That's when
So,
locals will say, "All right, you're
so,
not.
so
I'm
let
gonna
me ask
accept
you
you."
this. Okay, so if they see the normal acting Black Americans, they're not gonna, because of Jay Rillo, they're not gonna take it out on those normal acting Black Americans that are over there, are
I,
they?
I, I personally don't think so. I think, and I'm gonna give you a personal experience just to have you understand what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I was back in Kenya a couple of years ago. I think it was 2022, and I was there. It was my flight back, and there was these women. Right, I know now. Carlos is listening intently. Yes, they were black women, but they were women, American women. Um, and they were at the airport at the lounge, and they were talking disparagingly about the locals, and how much Kenya stink, and how they were never fucking coming back to the continent, just cursing up a storm. And they were just very disparaging. Everybody was quiet. The whole lounge was quiet, and they were just disparaging the whole way back, from the lounge to the plane. They were cursing up a storm, talking about fuck Africa, fuck Kenya. These people suck. These locals do one, two, three. Everyone was quiet. At some point, I said, "Could you just stop? If you hate it so much, how about you just keep it to yourselves until you go back home? You don't have to just subject us to all this pain of you guys complaining. It's like 1 a.m. in the morning, right?" And they got on the plane, and we flew back to the States. But I thought to myself, those kinds of visitors cause locals who've never interacted with an American apart from that situation to think, is that the way Americans are? I mean, I see them in the movies. I hear their music, but is that what they're like in person? I don't know whether or not I would actually call them a friend. And so if you go there, I don't know whether or not someone would be likely to go ahead and say hello if they've interacted with a situation like that. Now, that's just a singular situation because I've also traveled on the same trip. I got to experience, people from all over the country, black, white, Hispanic, didn't really matter. And they were cool, they were chill, they were happy that they got to meet someone who was Kenyan, but also lived in the States and asked them about places to hang out, eat, do all these things. I told them. Like it's not a big deal. Just don't go there and think you're back in the States because it's not.
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, we know that there's definitely a difference within the culture everywhere that you go across this world. But I wasn't going to hold you all up too much. I just wanted to come up
Yeah,
and
I gotta
see,
get going myself.
yeah, what can be done for the great divide for the. And I'm speaking in reference for decent acting people. I'm not talking about for Jay Rillos and Austin Holloman them. I wish they go somewhere with all that filming too and stop blurbing everything out and now they say Kid Greatness, he wants to take his butt to South Africa. He wants to mess that up, I guess. So,
No,
um,
so
so
they'll go
yeah.
because even if you looked at it from a business perspective, their model is not sustainable. What they're doing in Kenya is not sustainable. It's not. Like you can't monetize. You can only monetize it so much. Even if they were to do a legitimate business, people get tired. They can research it themselves. What was it? What is it like? Use ChatGPT. What is it like to travel here? Okay, why am I paying you $200-$300 for a consultation when I can go do research myself or go talk to whatever country local that I can find in the U.S. or in my town who can tell me about it. It's not sustainable. They're gonna be gone. Anyways. That's that.
All right, man. Well, thank you all
Yeah.
for to the host and everybody for letting me up and allowing me to ask the questions to try to figure out that that bridge can be brought a little bit closer or something like that from both sides, because I feel like both sides, like I said, are against these particular type of acting individuals. It's just that um, everybody's getting smeared because of the actions of the cameramen and the idiots that keep sending donations to the idiot that made it on the plane, and the European fellows who are going over and doing whatever it is they've been doing for such a long time. Like I said, my main concern for those, even though I don't even travel over there, but I wanted to make sure that it was okay for people that's acting normal, that may not even be on the internet, may not even be aware of this stuff, and they
Yeah.
decide
No,
to
I
take
hear
a
you.
trip to they may decide to take a trip to Kenya or somewhere, and they just they're acting normal, but they may stumble across some people that have ran across these J Rillo videos and so on and so forth. So they're kind of looking at them with a side eye, and these people don't know why they're being treated a certain way or that they're in some type of danger because of what this J Rillo guy's done and the people that's funding him to go do it, and so on and so. And these cameramen showing off every location that they go to, talking about go here, look at the women, look at the food, look at the building, every 10 minutes. So, I just wanted to make sure that it would be okay for those normal acting people. And so you say you feel like they may be okay as long as they're acting normal. And so that's what I came to kind of just figure out, and I just wanted to
Yeah. Yeah.
verify.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I said, I other than that, I see what both parties, everybody's coming, everybody's got a point to a certain degree from what I'm hearing. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah. I
they
think I
just
think
have
I
to,
think we're good. I think we're good. I think we're on the same page. As I
yeah.
said, thank you for actually having a decent debate.
Oh,
Unlike some people who just can't be able to have a decent conversation. But
it's all good, man.
yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna let y'all finish what y'all's
I
doing on the show, man.
Yeah,
I'm
no, I gotta
I'll
go,
follow.
but nice talking to you, real deal. You take
Yes,
care of
sir.
yourself now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, hey, Kayla, you still awake? Kayla. Oh, this dude knocked out. All right. Well, thank you for having me. I gotta go.
I'm
Y'all
here.
take care.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Hey, that was thanks for having us. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you for having me over to
Mhm.
to talk. But I gotta get going.
You me too. I think we shall close from here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks again. I appreciate you.
Okay, you're welcome. Much
Yep.
welcome. Thank you
Thanks.
everybody for
Okay.
coming in
Yep,
and
yep.
tuning in and contributing to the channel. We shall end it from here.